The Falcons go for their first sweep in Mid-American Conference play since April of 2022 in the rubber game of a 3-game set against the Kent State Golden Flashes at Messer Field in the Windy City Junior, Bowling Green, Ohio. Welcome into a special first edition of Saturday Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM. I'm Henry Costco, joined by the voice of BGSU Hockey, BGSU Volleyball, and now BGSU Softball, Mr. Benjamin Korak. Ben, we have a lot to talk about before our first pitch in roughly 8 or 9 minutes coming up, so let's start off with the weekly wind-up. Green Bay split a doubleheader on Tuesday with Bowling Green, and then Bowling Green took both of a doubleheader against Kent State on Friday.
A very good weekend overall for Bowling Green. Scarlett Anderson struggled a little bit in the second game against Green Bay. Mackenzie Krafchick has been on fire, took a win against Green Bay in the first complete game of the season for Bowling Green. Had a complete game win yesterday. Actually had 2 wins yesterday because she made a relief appearance and got the win in the second game as well. She has been on fire, a sub-4 ERA for both her and Scarlett Anderson now for a pitching staff that's starting to round out as we get a little bit deeper into MAC play. And then 2 wins yesterday for Kent State. Against Kent State, what are you going to say? It's a 2-game sweep. You've already won the weekend, chasing the 3-game sweep today. Yeah,
as I mentioned earlier, Bowling Green going for their first sweep of a Mid-American Conference opponent in almost 3 years. Last time that happened, April 2022, in a sweep against Toledo. But let's talk about this Bowling Green offense that's really just been consistent all throughout the lineup all year. And let's hit on Addie Martin, 10 for 13 this weekend, combined in the Green Bay and Kent State games, 7 runs, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs. Unbelievable week.
Yeah, so many good things to see from her. Defensively played very well. Offensively played very well. Coach Gardner said, and when she talked to us after the Green Bay game, that she wanted to see her do a little bit less and stay a little bit smaller. I think she did that great yesterday. She played some small ball a little bit. She bunted a couple of times. She got some real nice knocks that weren't her trying to lift the ball out of the park. That was a great thing to see for her, to see her continue her success without trying to knock the ball out of the park. Also have to make a comment to Peyton Steffes, arguably as good of a weekend as well. 3 for 4 in the first game yesterday, 2 for 3 in the second game. A lot of runs and RBIs for her. She's a very productive player. Has moved from the 7th hole against Buffalo to the 6th hole against Green Bay, and now in the 5 hole, but batting behind Hannah Hunt. That top 5 in the order is a very dangerous one, and it's a real good one to focus on for Bowling Green against a weaker pitching staff from Kent State.
Yeah, Steffes, really great all-around player, great in the field, and you mentioned 5 hits this weekend, 7 hits last weekend against Buffalo in that series, so 2 more today. We'll give her 7 to match that total, but yeah, I mean, you talked about the feeling. Let's talk about Kent State a little bit. They've struggled from the pitching standpoint a little bit.
Yeah, they certainly have. Yesterday, it wasn't the day in the circle for Carly Penner. She had a great day at the plate, but only 1 inning, 3 earned runs in the first game against Bowling Green. Didn't do too well. Ella Johnson came in, had a very rough inning, gave up 4 runs, only gave up 3 in the next 5 innings that she worked. She pitched very well, was able to hold Kent State somewhat in the game until the very end when Bowling Green was able to pull away eventually. In the second game as well, Delaney Nagy played great. I think she was left in there just a little bit too long by the Golden Flash staff. 6 innings in and out, pitched 10 hits, 6 earned runs on 7 runs, ended up giving up a walk-off for Bowling Green. But she was the reason Kent State was in that game as long as they were, was the reason that it was a 6-3 game heading into that 7th inning. And to be honest, I think she was left a little bit out to dry, but that's just how it goes, and she still pitched great besides that.
Yeah, as far as the Kent State offense, Lena Robeson, the leader for them, senior of Heartland, Michigan. She's had a great year so far, 6th in the MAC with a .398 batting average and 27 RBIs, 3rd in the MAC with 35 total hits, and 8th with a OPS over 1,000. As we'll step aside quickly here, as we'll get towards the national anthems and the starting lineups. When we come back, we'll give you those starting lineups. You're listening to Saturday Softball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Underwriting sponsorships on Northwest Ohio's community radio station are now available. Get your business's information out to the local community and show your support for 88.1 FM WBGU. For more information regarding underwriting sponsorships at WBGU, visit bgfalconmedia.com. Thanks for your continued support of everything we do here at WBGU 88.1 FM, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Hi,
I'm Anna Sidek. I'm a freshman setter from BGSU volleyball team, and that's my 4 self-care habits. So the first one is drinking a coffee because it helps me to be just energized like during the day. Second thing would be reading a book. I'm a such bookworm and I just love it. Other one would be listening to music because like music keeps me calm and I just love it. And the last thing, but not the least, it would be like stretching with Santi, our athletic trainer, because he keeps my body safe and everything. So I'm really grateful for.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Welcome back to Saturday Softball here on WBGU 88.1 FM. I'm Henry Costco, joined by my broadcast partner Benjamin Korak. We've got your starting lineups here for Kent State against Bowling Green. This rubber game here, Kent State, their lineup will look like Carly Penner will lead off at the left field spot. Bryn Leibler will play third base. Savannah Wing at first. Kendall Leitner will hit cleanup as the pitcher. Delaney Robeson will play short. Katie Jo Maury in right. Erilyn Nogue at center. Cam Undorf will play second base. Will be rounded up by Lainey Johnson at catcher. For the Bowling Green Falcons, Katie Hutter will lead off, and it'll be Addie Martin, Taylor Barrett, Hannah Hunt, the full infield right there is to start the lineup, and then Payne Steffes will play right. Ava McKee will get another game there at the DH spot. Ashley Chevalier will play catcher. Delaney Davis gets her sixth start of the year in the left field, and Kendall Matthews will round out the Bowling Green lineup there at center field. Mackenzie Krafschick will get the start on the mound for Bowling Green. It'll be Kendall Leitner on the mound for Kent State. But, I mean, it's been the Bowling Green pitching staff that stepped up in the past week. Mackenzie Krafschick has had back-to-back fantastic outings, 6 scoreless against Kent State on Friday.
It has mainly been Mackenzie Krafschick, but you can't go without mentioning how well Morgan Beckham pitched yesterday. 3 earned runs given up. Had a little bit of struggles at the end, but it didn't help with a 2-out error. They gave her 2 extra unearned runs to give Kent State a 6-3 lead heading into the 7th inning. But the pitching staff for Bowling Green's really stepped forward. Gardner's doing some pretty good job.
First pitch to Carly Penner is fouled back, and we are underway. Start just after 2 o'clock here. Game was originally scheduled for 1, but got delayed to 2 due to some concerns about weather, but it looks great out here today despite the 30-mile-an-hour winds. Sunny day, around 44 degrees.
She just missed her spot a little bit outside. The thing that has made her so successful this week is jumping ahead in counts. We talked about it a lot yesterday, Kevin and myself, the broadcast on Falcon Radio. A 1-1 count here for Krafschick now, but she got to a ton of 0-2 counts. It was great to see from her to be able to get ahead of these Kent State hitters.
That one's going to be a bit low on that one, ball 2. But, I mean, Krafschick she's been just absolutely outstanding in these past few weeks. And we saw some trouble, obviously, with the tough schedule early on. And her and Anderson have both really settled in to their groove against Buffalo last week. And now this week against Kent State, as that one's going to be high for ball 3. Penner ahead in the count early.
I think the sneak peek to Mackenzie Krafschick and how well she's pitched this season is that game against Oklahoma, coming in relief and just shutting them down for what was probably 4 or 5 innings, something like that. Did end up giving the walk-off, but had to ride with her through that game, one that you didn't really expect to be that close into.
Gets that one in the zone. Penner fouls it back. We have a full count on the first at-bat, but yeah, that game overall was just outstanding for the Falcons. If they would have pulled that one out.
Certainly a fun watch, for sure.
If they would have pulled out in extra innings, it would have been maybe the greatest upset in Falcon Athletics history, considering Oklahoma is the 4-time back-to-back reigning national champions. That one's going to be a ball 4. Krafchik's tough start, but Kent State gets their leadoff runner on base.
They got it to a good start. Left that pitch a little bit high, missing her spots a little bit. The back half of that at bat, maybe aiming a little bit, but it's cold outside, colder than it was yesterday. It's the coldest game they're going to be playing in the week, and she's got some pitches on her arm for sure. So I would imagine a little bit of a shorter leash on Krafchik today.
Yeah, the cold affects the pitchers most. Got to keep those hands warm as that one's high for ball 1. Big thing to watch here. Carly Penner getting a good leadoff there. 7 attempts, 4 for 7 on those attempts. Ashley Chevalier has had a great year in terms of throwing runners out at second base.
Yeah, she did that yesterday as well, so nice.
Support for WBGU FM is provided by the Wood County District Public Library, encouraging lifelong.
Ball 2 to Bryn Leibler, junior out of Pendleton, Indiana. Pendleton Heights High School, stands 5'4".
Pretty good game yesterday, batting in the 2-hole.
She's had a good year overall, hitting over 300 and 28 games started, almost 100 ABs.
It's a lot of runs scored considering the meat of the order, especially in the second game yesterday. Got 2 runs. Delaney Robeson batting in the 5 spot, knocked her in a couple times. That's one of the best hitters on this team, batting pretty low down in the order.
Leibler puts the bunt down on that play, but that one rolls foul.
Hers
unsuccessful attempt.
Pretty poor execution, I'd say, on the bunting for Kent State yesterday. 2 bunt pop-ups to the third baseman. Both Taylor Barrett was able to handle. You see her playing in right there in front of the bag at third. Hutter playing in as well. Now 1 strike. We'll see if she goes back to the bunt on a swinging count on 3-1. So she's going to show it.
It shows it, but fakes it and fouls that one back with a swing. So another full count. Kenzie, again, these Kent State hitters are definitely putting up good at-bats early on.
For sure. I think Jessica O'Donnell's a little bit not happy with that. Maybe wanted to advance the runner over to bring up the 3, 4, 5 hitters and get a runner in scoring position. Scored in the first inning, second game yesterday.
That one's going to be a swing and a miss. Great pitch from Krafchik. Gets that one by Leibler. First strikeout of the day and first out of the day for the Falcons.
Good change of speeds there. Puts the double play in order to end the inning. Very good pitch from Krafchik to jump right back after walking the leadoff hitter. Now we got Savannah Wing stepping up to the plate. The first baseman played pretty well yesterday, but again, like the rest of the top of the order, not outstanding. A little bit of offensive struggles for Kent State yesterday.
That one's fouled back. A lot of foul balls, not a lot of swing misses. I believe Leibler's swing and miss was the first of the day for Kent State. That one's 0-1.
Yeah, Gardner said yesterday when we talked to her after yesterday's game that the issue with putting Krafchik out is they've seen her. They've seen her twice now this week. Had probably some film on her pitching against Green Bay as well.
Ground ball to short. Hunt's going to step on it, go to first, and make the dub. No, it's not going to happen. As looked like Barron didn't quite. That was Hutter at first. Didn't quite get that one.
Yeah,
squeezed.
Got the lead runner. Probably beat the runner at first base as well. Hutter just not able to squeeze it on the low throw. Maybe Eddie had to rush it a little bit. Didn't make the cleanest throw in the world, but you got an out, and now you got 2 outs, forced at second base.
Now keep in mind, Hutter not the normal first baseman for the Falcons. They're making up for the absence of Cameron Kaufman with Eddie Martin replacing and Cam at short. Hutter usually a DP playing first base today and has over the past week or so.
That was good paint on the outside edge there for Krafchik. She was very good with the off-speed yesterday, not missing almost at all with it. Everything that she had was in the zone. A little bit of struggle coming in the second game, but she was able to work out of it.
Kendall Leitner up to bat 11th in the MAC with her .444 on-base percentage, hitting .383 on the year.
Yeah, not too many at-bats. A small sample size, but some decent power as well. 5'11", slugging percentage. Still some impressive stuff from her for a not very power-hitting Kent State team.
1-1 count to Wing. Leitner, that one's going to be lined past the shortstop into left field. And looks like the runner's going to get to third. We're going to have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Good job by Leitner to make the contact happen.
Good job by Delaney Davis out there in left field also to cut the ball off from getting to the track and get it in quick to split the runners. Still have a force second base. Makes things a little bit easier. But now a little bit of a threat in here. Runner on first and third, and probably their best hitter, Delaney Robeson, up.
Yeah, Krafchick looking to get out of the jam early on. Delaney Robeson hitting near 400 on the season. Mention all of the stats that she's up towards the MAC up towards the top of the MAC, as that one's going to be outside for ball one.
Yeah, she was hitting 400 coming into yesterday's game. Not the greatest outing from her. She went over in the first, then got moved down to the 5-hole. Got a couple of RBIs there as well, but still some pretty good offense from Robeson this season.
Great overall career, reaching 140 careers. That one's grounded to third. Throw's going to be made easily to Hutter, and that one's going to round out the top of the first inning, but we'll stay right here as we want to talk about the outfit of the day, and that segment is going to be sponsored by The Swoop, our very own student sports show that talks all things BGSU athletics. Why you think that's funny?
I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know the sponsorship by The Swoop was happening.
We got to shout out all the things that we do here at Falcon Media Sports Network. So much different content that we produce. That show comes out every Tuesday night on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Our host, Chaz McNeil, does a great job with that one, so make sure to check that out when it comes out. But Ben, walk us through our outfit of the day.
Yeah, so Kent State wearing their powder blue uniforms, always a favorite for baseball and softball teams. Bowling Green, I think, underrated pick. I think we had this topic on Zig Zone a little bit ago. Who has the best uniform at Bowling Green? I think softball's in the running now. I think they got some new jerseys this year. They're wearing the brown jerseys with the white pants. I think it's tough to go against the powder blues. I mean,
really?
The Los Angeles Chargers are maybe have the best uniforms in the NFL, pretty similar color scheme to that. That's what I would say. I don't know. What about you, Henry?
I mean, I think Kent State just overall in all sports has the best uniforms in the MAC. I attended the MAC tournament this past week, and they wore their light blue uniforms. The women's team did in their semifinal. I think that was the best uniform I saw in that tournament, and now they're wearing these powder blues again. But, I mean, Bowling Green softball uniforms are one of the best in the MAC as well, I think.
That's true. And Kent State has it's a little bit colder here, and the long dark blue sleeves and the blue socks complements very well.
Oh, yeah.
Lack of drip report to Green Bay earlier this week, who wore
gray
pants with gray socks and gray belt.
There.
Yeah, it was rough. It was not a good look in my opinion.
Yeah, shout out to the look that Katie Hutter's rocking with the stirrups on the long sleeve white.
I wish stirrups were more common in baseball.
They should be.
No, I love them so much.
Up steps Katie Hutter. Kendall Leitner is your starting pitcher, 5.37 ERA on the year, only 14 2/3 innings that she's thrown, so likely she'll be on a short leash here early on in this game as Hutter steps up to the plate.
Yeah, hasn't pitched since March 14th. Only pitched twice in this month. Not the greatest outings either. But see what she can work some magic here against Hutter.
Hutter a bit early on that first pitch, sends that one foul. First strike one. I believe it's been 5 straight outings for Leitner where she's allowed at least 1 run, so looking to end that streak today.
Yeah, her last one, 1 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs on 3 hits. 3 strikeouts and 3 walks, though, so she's hitting the zone, she's missing the zone, kind of off and on. Strikeout or nothing, it looks like for her on the season. She's got a pretty decent amount, but a 1-to-1 ratio.
There's ball 1 to Hutter. The windup and the pitch. That one's going to be outside as well for ball 2. Katie Hutter, 291 on the year, 456 slug, 402 on base. She's had a great year from the leadoff spot where she's pretty much been all year, in a year that's really been a complete improvement from last year. Yeah,
not the greatest weekend this weekend. Only 1 hit yesterday with 3 runs in 2 games. So she gets a lot of runs, getting on base quite a lot. She had a couple of walks in there as well. So she reached base, not the greatest with the bat, but, the leadoff hitter, you just want to get on base. You don't really, doesn't matter how, could be an error, it could be fielder's choice if you're so good at getting them.
There was ball 3 to Hutter. Here's the next pitch, and that's going to be outside once again. 4 straight balls all outside as Hutter gets on base.
Such good plate discipline from the Falcons this weekend. 12 walks already. That's the 13th across 2 games and not even an inning. And now up steps the dangerous Addie Martin.
Addie Martin, 10 for 13 this week. 5 RBIs, 7 runs.
With power, with stolen bases.
Does it all.
Plays great shortstop.
That one's going to be lifted into left field. Is it going to get down? It will. Great diving attempt there in left field. That was Carly Penner who nearly got to it. That would have been an outstanding play.
That probably should be a hit.
I think it will be registered as a hit.
I mean, I think that hit bottom of the pocket.
Yeah.
And Penner's glove. What a great diving play.
Martin maybe a little bit fortunate as her batting average of .353 will likely increase as up steps Taylor Barrett. Leading batting average on the team, .364. She's had an outstanding year as well.
Yeah, Barrett's, with runners on scoring position, not an extra base threat too much, but a very good contact hitter. Shows bunt here and gets it down.
Yeah, gets down. Great bunt right down the first baseline, and the Kent State's not going to have a play. What a bunt. Savannah Wing came down from first, but she had nowhere to go with it. A fantastic bunt.
A bunt with first and second is diabolical stuff, especially, she put it to the first baseline, which is good. It's a tough play to make. When you lay down a bunt that good, it doesn't matter how many runners are on. You could have done that with bases loaded, and you would have got a run in.
Leitner in trouble early. Bases loaded, nobody out. Just like that. Happened real quickly. Up steps Hannah Hunt. No breaks in the top of this lineup.
Yeah, Hannah Hunt, certainly a dangerous hitter.
That one's going to be hit to short. Great play at short, and they're going to go to home play, and they're going to get the force out there. So great play by the shortstop, Delaney Robeson, to get the lead runner, and Bowling Green will stay scoreless.
Fun fact, Henry, I don't know if you kept up with the game too much yesterday, being at the Seinfeld concert that you were. Hannah Hunt was caught trying for home 3 times in the first game and twice in the second. Well, she got stranded at second base twice in the second game, got caught going for home 3 times in the first game. It was not the day for Hannah Hunt.
Up steps Peyton Stevis, 5 hits combined in the last 2 games for the Falcons. That one's high for ball 1.
She might be the hottest hitter for Bowling Green with Addie Martin right up there with our Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week last week. Addie Martin's making a huge bid for it this week. Never had a repeat winner, but I find it hard to believe that if Steph keeps hitting like this, she's not going to win again.
That was going to be popped up. It's going to be into foul play. That one's going to get over the fence. Yeah, out of play there. But Steph is just fantastic all-around player. She plays defense, fantastic defense out in right field, uses her speed both in the field and on the base pass, 6 stolen bases on the year, and as you mentioned, .320 average.
The outfield really didn't get too much offensive presence through non-conference play. It was the infield that was doing all the damage, and Katie Hutter as well being the DH most of the time. But outfield's starting to hit a little bit better, which is good for them. That's the bottom of the order that's just started to really step up.
Steph has struggled in a lot of the early season term, especially in Norman and in Conway, but she's really picked it up when it's mattered here in conference play. 1-1 count. Leitner really trying to settle down. She got her first out. That was a big deal last at bat. That one's high for ball 2.
We're still trying to keep this ball in the air if possible. If you're Peyton Steph, it's situational hitting. Don't want to hit it on the ground because you'll just trade an out for no runs. Probably try and get a mid-deep fly ball. Decent speed great speed, I should say, at third base with Addie Martin. So she'll score if you find some green, even if it's with a mitt. Oh, good pitch.
Yeah, great. Right on the outside corner. Full count now.
That was
for Steffes.
Now Steffes is going to have a job to do. Nowhere to put her. So Leitner's going to have to come up with something nasty.
Keep in mind, wind is a factor. 30 miles an hour coming with some gusts here today. In the outfield. That one's going to be grounded to second base. Kent's going to try to go home, and that throw is going to be errant, and Bowling Green is going to send 2 runs home. Yeah, just maybe tried to force it. That was second baseman Cam Undorf that just tried to force the throw home. Maybe the play was to go to first and just get the out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be an error to Undorf, I would imagine. That's going to put runners on second and third. I think the throw would have beat her. It was a very errant throw, and no chance for Johnson to wrangle that in. That's a 2-run error as well, so probably 2 unearned runs for Leitner if I had to guess.
Oh, it would have been close. So 2-0 Bowling Green here early on. Bottom of the first, 1 out. Up steps Ava McKee, designated hitter. She had a very clutch hit in the bottom of the 7th for Bowling Green that tied up the game and eventually led to their walk-off in the second game.
Yeah, beautiful opposite hit double. Didn't do too much all game. Was actually down to an .051 batting average, now up to .090 with that hit. Not too many at-bats this season, but she's kind of getting up there, and hopefully can get her to do something nice.
22 ABs and only 10 games played. Only her 9th game started as she fouls that one back. down 0-2 early in this count.
Oh, good point. No, you're right.
McKee, 0-91 average on the year, like you mentioned.
Yeah, going to try and onto an 0-2 count here. Another one where you can just put it in the outfield with one out and score that runner on third base.
Freshman from Pasco, Ohio, grounds that one to shortstop, and that's going to not be a play that's going to be able to be made by Robeson, and that's going to score a run. Hung great contact by McKee. Sent a line drive right to Robeson. She was not able to make the play.
Probably going to be back-to-back errors if I had to say. I mean, that's something that you got to pick on the backhand. Robeson's had a tough series in the field. That's 2 errors that she's made. And that'll score a run and put a runner at the corner as well.
I'll bring Ashley Chevalier to the plate. 153 on the year. She's been the starting catcher for Bowling Green pretty much all year. She's been great from behind the plate, and she's had some offensive productivity, especially in the last couple of weeks.
And she stepped up. It was pretty much a hole in the lineup in the first part of the year, especially in the catcher position. She worked around with McKee as well, but she's got the bats going a little bit. Had a hit in the first game yesterday. No hits in the second game, though.
Chevalier, the junior, attended Olentangy Liberty High School down in Columbus. That one's going to be a ball outside as Johnson hops up, ready to catch McKee for a potential stolen base there to second as runners are on the corners right now.
And again, with one out, just try and put it in the outfield. Steph is fast. She'll score maybe even on a shallow fly ball.
Here's the 2-0. That was going to be low. 3-0 count. Laner's going to have to put some in the zone.
I like the idea she's having of keeping it low, trying to get a ground ball, but you got to be able to hit the zone, especially, I mean, you have the base to put her on, but you don't want to load the bases again with less than 2 outs.
Delaney Davis, the hitter of the walk-off in the second game on Friday, awaits on deck. Here's the 3-0. That one's going to be a low ball for Leitner, struggling early on. And Chevalier.
Surprised there hasn't been a mound visit yet. Try and settle her down. This might be the time for it.
Speak of the devil.
Johnson's going to go out.
They're going to have a talk. The Kent State infield has been talking to Leitner a lot, really trying to keep her confidence high. As we've mentioned, she's had rough start to the year, 5.37 ERA coming in, and that one's surely increasing right now. 3-0 is your score.
Yeah, they are. They are working somebody in the bullpen as well. Imagine it would be Nagy in this situation, who pitched yesterday, pitched pretty well, because they're looking for the first conference win of the season, their first one of the weekend as well.
Pitching has bugged them all year. Worst team ERA in the MAC. We've seen it this weekend. 10 runs allowed in the game 1 on Friday, 7 in game 2.
Yeah, so officially, Steffes' and McKee's hits are going to go down as errors. An error to the second baseman, an error to the shortstop.
Ball 1. Again, now this is Delaney Davis who steps up to the plate.
Yeah, the walk-off yesterday, a very big one, pinch hit. Got a single in the 6th inning that didn't score, and then in the 7th inning, the clutch time hit, pinch hit. Great decision by Gardner to put her in for Hannah Massaro. Playing left field today instead of Massaro again.
Strike finally finds the zone for Leitner. 1-1 count to Davis, who's starting her 6th game of the year. Not a lot of experience, especially starting games, but just came off the bench and been a valuable asset.
Yeah, Henry, 4th at-bat in a row that I'll say, just put it in the outfield. Just left it a little bit outside there, but you get it in the outfield. Should score Steffes. Trade the out for the run. You're already up 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Kent State defense has proved that just putting it in play can reward a valuable outcome, especially just making solid contact. Here's the 2-1. That was going to be lined up the middle right into the outfield, like you mentioned. That's going to score at least one, and they're going to keep McKee at third base, so she's not going to make an attempt to score. But 4-0 here for Bowling Green in the first. Great start for this team. Yeah,
hot single 4 in the last 4 for Delaney Davis. Last 4 at-bats, she's got a hit. She's a great decision to be put in the lineup by Gardner to ride the hot hand, bringing up probably the most underrated power on the team, I'd say, in Kendall Matthews, and looked like they're probably going to make a change.
That's going to be it for Kendall. Leitner didn't quite make it out of the first inning. They're going to bring in Delaney Nagy. We'll talk a bit about her when we come back. We'll take a short break here. You're listening to Saturday Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon baseball wraps up their homestand against Youngstown State on Tuesday, March 25th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris will have the call starting at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to Bowling Green Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM. Your score, Falcons 4, Golden Flashes 0 as Kendall Leitner gets taken out of the game before making a full inning of work done. Delaney Nagy, the senior, comes into the game. Talk a little bit about her, Ben.
Yeah, Nagy pitched very well yesterday, I'd say. Wasn't able to get the win, but pitched Bowling Green to only 3 runs through 6 innings of work. Had a 6-3 lead in the bottom. A little bit of a weird coaching decision for myself. Probably should have pulled her, put in a new reliever. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Bowling Green came back and ended up winning 7-6. But Nagy pitched well all game. 4 strikeouts, 5 walks on 6 earned runs and 10 hits. She did a good job of limiting a Falcon offense that was playing very well up into that point. And she hit the zone pretty cleanly as well. She did what we said Krafchick did very well in staying ahead in at-bats.
Kendall Matthews up to the plate right now. Second best ERA on the team as a 7.35 for Nagy, which says a lot about the struggles that Kent State has had on the pitching side of the ball. That one's low and inside for ball 2.
Yeah, the 3 earned runs is the third most of Kendall Leitner's season. UMass, she gave up 5 earned. North Carolina, she gave up 4. It's her most since March 2nd, 2 appearances ago for her. Not the greatest first inning outing, not helped by the defense either.
2-0 is way inside, almost hit Matthews on the foot. And not a great start for Nagy, 3-0 count.
Yeah, nowhere to put her. So you got to give her something. See, this is a situation, Henry, that I would say green light. It's a 3-0 count.
Oh, yeah. Especially
but
for the power hitter.
You have a lead for a power hitter. She's got to put one in the zone. And she did.
There's strike 1. Kendall Matthews, great. 3 true outcome hitter, 19 strikeouts to 11 walks.
Yeah, it's just
2 home runs on the year.
It's just a baseball philosophy argument, you know. I think in that situation, probably should have swung away, especially if you got your pitch. But she's still got a favorable count of 3-1 now.
That's going to be grounded right down the third baseline, and that's going to get past Leibler. And it's going to be a fair ball. They're going to set another run.
No.
Wait, and yeah, Chevalier hesitated before coming home, and that's going to be her demise.
Garner didn't know what he was doing what she was doing, bad base running there. McKee scored, though, got a run in, traded it for an out. You know, you got first and second, bringing up the top of the order.
Yeah, it could have been bases loaded, 1 out again instead of 2 on, 2 out. Umpires talking here. It looks like they might review this one potentially if it was.
It looked like it didn't cross over the bag. It looks like they're going to wave it off for a foul ball.
Yeah, so the run will be taken off the board. Your score is still going to be 4-0.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but it looked.
It looked like it bounced before the bag and then went.
It looked like it bounced before the bag, and it did not look like it crossed over. So it's going to be a full count with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So runners are going to be moving.
Matthews will get second chance. That one's going to be flown foul over the fence.
Too much height.
In the field. Good swing for Matthews. Interesting situation here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Second pitcher of the game in the first inning. Kent State really needs to get out of this jam if they want a shot later on in this game. As more and more runs are scored, the harder it is for them to be able to make a comeback, even though it is early on. That's going to be a swing and a miss, and Matthews going to go down swinging regardless. So 2 outs now without the 5th run being scored. Brings up the top of the lineup.
Yeah, that's not going to go down as left on base, but Matthews had 5 runners left on base in the first game against Kent State yesterday. Had a couple of opportunities to knock some in the second game yesterday, wasn't able to, and now had the bases loaded with 1 out, wasn't able to get any in.
She struggled past few games from the 9-hole. Here's Hutter. That one's inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Hutter is struggled a little bit at the plate, to say the least. She still gets on base, but you want to get the bat on the ball as much as possible. It looked just a little bit high.
High for ball 2. Hutter, utility player, a junior out of Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, attended Mount Pleasant High School.
Aggie's looking like she's getting a little bit frustrated now, not being able to throw strikes. Started out at a 3-0 count to Matthews, worked back, but now a 2-0 count to Hutter. Piped that one.
Yeah, gets that one in on the plate. 2-1 count now. Yankee just needs some confidence. Kent State overall just needs some confidence, really. Kind of two debilitating games. First, a bad loss in the first game, then a walk-off loss. Second game, that's a bad combination for your squad.
Yeah, not the greatest morale-wise.
That's going to
be a foul ball.
Yeah,
she fouled it off herself.
Yeah, off of her right leg. Luckily, she has that leg guard. Not sure if it hit off that. I think it was a little bit above that towards her knee.
They're going to give her a second. Just like the last at-bat, Nagy fell 3-0 in the last, worked all the way back for a strikeout. Now she fell 2-0 and has come back to 2-2. So now has the advantage. Hunter does have a guard on that right leg.
2-2 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be grounded to second base, and they're just going to go to first. Played by Uttendorf to get that out. Bowling Green, great successful first inning. 4-0 is your score. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Avery Anders, number 3 on the women's volleyball team. My Falcon 4 of my favorite songs I'm listening to right now is 20-something by SZA, Afraid to Feel, Swag Surfin', and Maneater.
Welcome back to Messer Field for your first home Saturday softball game of the year. Bowling Green leads Kent State 4-0. Great start for the Falcons in the first.
Yeah, certainly got the bat on the ball quite a bit. A big hit by Delaney Davis to get a couple in as well. She's played great. As her last 4 at bats, she's 4 for 4. And her last 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left on base. So still more opportunity, but you turn the lineup over. It's still going to be top when you come back into the second inning. And now you bring up Katie Jo Mori, the right fielder, Erilyn Nogue, and then Cam Uttendorf.
Big inning for Mackenzie Krafschick here, top of the second, as she tries to get her rhythm that she's really just gotten in these past few starts that she's made.
I would say she's had a lot of rest. It was a long bottom of the first inning, but in the cold, it might not be the greatest thing in the world. And she's pretty much coming in the cold.
So get back warmed up. You see her rubbing the ball there is Katie Jo Mori. Takes the 1-0. That one skied deep into left field. And is it going to be on? It's close to the fence. But yeah, the wind killed it.
The wind really killed that ball. She gave that one a ride. I thought that had 4 bags written all over it. But
Delaney Davis.
Look at the American flag out in center field blowing directly in.
So we mentioned wind gusts at near 30 miles an hour at some points. Typical day here in Bowling Green, Ohio in the spring. Up steps Erilyn Nogue, transfer from Bowling Green, made the All-MAC freshman team with the Falcons. Now heads over to the Flashes. That one's lined over the head of Addie Martin and into the left field for a hit, her first of the series.
Yeah, I was just about to say 1 for yesterday and her 6 at-bats, but she's already got 1 today, 1 for 1. It's a big base runner for Kent State who's looking to get back on the board and stifle a 4-0 lead for BG. Cam Uttendorf didn't play too badly yesterday. Got a run scored, 1 for 2 in the first game and 1 for 4 in the second game. So one of the better hitters at the bottom of the order.
Valparaiso transfer. That's a big theme for Kent State. 8 transfers on this team. That one's going to be a little grounder right to Krafschick. She's going to make the play at first, not even try to get the runner at second. So 1 down. Good little sacrifice hit there from Uttendorf. Moves the runner into scoring position.
Yeah, but now with 2 outs, you need a single from Alani Johnson, the catcher, and batting in the final spot.
Leilani Johnson, good start in only 8 starts. This is her 9th today. 346 average, 577 slug with a 414 on base.
I can't say it clearly needs wins. She's caught all 3 games this weekend, so clearly the go-to catcher for Kent State. Is pretty good with the bat as well. Decently power. Very strong player.
Takes ball 1. So runner on second, 2 outs. Your score is 4-0 Bowling Green over at Kent State. Kent with 2 hits on the day. Bowling Green with 3.
Yeah, 2 errors, though, for Kent State. Really extended that first inning farther than it probably should have gone.
Kravchuk sends that one to Johnson. That one's deep into right field, but Steffes makes the play. And a quick inning for Mackenzie Kravchuk. 4-0 is your score as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Saturday Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For over 70 years, WBGU 88.1 FM has provided local news, sports, and entertainment to Northwest Ohio. As a non-commercial radio station, WBGU relies on the generous contributions of local businesses in the form of underwriting. For more information regarding underwriting sponsorship at WBGU, visit bgfalconmedia.com. Thanks for your continued support of everything we do here at WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, it's Reese Patricus, and you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BG Men's Golf heads to Tennessee for the Sweden's Cove Collegiate from Monday, March 24th through Wednesday, March 26th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Kevin Hutchinson will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the rubber game of a 3-game set between Kent State and Bowling Green. I'm Henry Costco, joined by my broadcast partner, Ben Korak, as Addie Martin takes strike 1 in this top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, special thank you to give up their time slot today. Don, Kenny, and Deb from the Blues Breakfast are supposed to be on during this time. We're willing enough to give up their time to broadcast this softball game.
That one's grounded to short, and rare out for Addie Martin.
Yeah, at this point in the
now
season.
11 for 15 on the day. That one was grounded to Nagy.
Probably her weakest ball hit on the weekend, even when she hit the shortstop yesterday. A little bit on the weaker end, but still pretty well tagged. And that one looked like she was way ahead, just hit it off the end of the bat, maybe on an off speed by Nagy. Early out, though, for Nagy. That's a big one to take.
Little ahead and chased the one that was a little bit low and outside out of the zone. Up steps Taylor Barron, who's going to sky one deep in the left field. That one's going to surely no, it won't. Great play. Got a little bit ahead of myself there. Penner makes a great play. It looks like
the wind is killing all of these. They look skied, and they're not. It's blowing directly into a right-handed hitter. So the lefties maybe not affected too much. It is directly blowing into where that ball was traveling.
Yeah, if that was Tuesday, I think both that ball and the Kent State hit earlier would have been out of here.
Bowling Green catching the Falcons a little bit off guard there.
So 2 down quickly. Up steps Hannah Hunt. One gets away from Johnson, but no harm done.
Yeah, this is the kind of pitching we saw middle innings from Delaney Nagy yesterday. She worked very well against Bowling Green in about the 3rd through the 5th inning. Gave up a couple of runs in there, but not a lot of help, and then a couple of unearned as well. Oh.
Inside, that one.
That caught her.
Caught a little bit, maybe caught just the jersey of Hannah Hunt. She's going to take a stroll to first base.
Second time reaching. First time on a fielder's choice now. Reaching first. She scored her last time up. Peyton Steff is a hot bat. Trying to make a 2-out rally.
First softball that's made contact with Hannah Hunt at the plate of the year. Surely first of a few. Up steps Payne Stephens. Runner on first. 2 outs. Scores 4-0 Bowling Green. Swing and a miss. Great cut from Steffes.
Yeah, that was a heater, though. I mean, that was straight shed right down the middle. 0-1 to count. Hard to catch up with that after a couple of off-speeds straight from Nagy.
Sophomore from Rockford, Michigan. Attended Rockford High School for Peyton Steffes. That one's right down the pipe. For strike 2, down in the count is Steffes.
Yeah, discipline for Bowling Green. It catches them a little bit off sometimes. Now down 0-2, trying to be as patient as possible, but now you've got a tough count.
That one's high for ball 1, so Steffes lives to see another pitch. I don't think Johnson is too worried about Hannah Hunt right now with 2 outs. She's the leading. She has a 1 stolen base on the year, but
it wouldn't necessarily be the most advantageous spot to steal, considering it's middle bottom of the order coming up. That if it was maybe Katie Hutter or Addie Martin, it makes sense. You've got the middle of the order coming up, but you don't want to lead off the the bottom of the 3rd inning with Steffes, McKee, and Chevalier. Good discipline from Steffes to work this back to a full count, leaving it high. Nagy's nibbling a little bit around the edges.
Yeah, Nagy went high on the first pitch, low on the second, and then high on the third, but Steffes stays off all of them. So it makes it a full count with 2 outs.
Couldn't really tell what she was trying to do there as far as the formula goes. Oh, what a pitch.
Yeah, drops that changeup right in and catches Steffes looking. So Kent State gets out of the bottom of the second unscathed. Your score is 4-0. Bowling Green over the Kent State Golden Flashes. You're listening to Bowling Green Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM. How many times did I say it was the 3rd inning? It was not.
Oh, you said it was the 3rd? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, this is Emmy Butera with the women's soccer team, and I'm doing my favorite 4 candies. So my first one is Jolly Ranchers.
Carl will be pissed.
My second one is Sour Patch Watermelon.
I should have made her redo it.
My third one, probably Gummy Bears.
Butera, yeah.
And my fourth one,
I thought it was Buteras.
I'll go with
Butera.
Mentos.
The rest of the soccer team just sitting there, kicking the ball there.
4-0 is your score as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It's the top of the lineup for Kent State will be Penner, Leibler, and Savannah Wing. Mackenzie Krafchick looks to get her 3rd scoreless inning. That one skied out of play over the left field, left baseline fence for a foul ball.
An impressive hitter, Carly Penner. Takes some very good at-bats, 228 average, not the greatest on the season. Decent amount of power, no home runs, but a couple of doubles and triples, decent OPS as well. Is just taking very good at-bats this weekend. Probably the best hitter for Kent State, in my opinion. Way outside by Krafchick. I don't know where she was going.
Down here for Penner, hit 288 while starting every single game for them in 2024, looking to boost that average a little bit at 228 right now, but overall, good year for her at the top of this Kent State lineup. Puts the bunt down right to Krafchick, though, and Hunt will cover. Whoa. Oh, yeah, speedy. Penner beats it out. Hunt had to cover. I'm not sure. Hutter should have came in on that one. It was right to Krafchick.
Yeah, I think that was the way the bunt play was running. It just looked like Hunt was a little bit late to get over. Krafchick might have been able to throw it a little bit early to lead Hunt to the bag. That was just an odd play.
Just a lackadaisical, maybe
yeah,
attempt
Penner's
by
got
Krafchick.
some speed behind her, too. So
4 stolen bases on the year for Penner. Chevalier's going to have to watch out.
Probably just a hit, just beat out the play.
You see Penner active over there on first base as that one's taken for strike 1 to Bryn Leibler.
Leibler struck out swinging the first inning, the first out of the game for Kent State.
That one's taken for ball 1. Interesting, Bryn Leibler, soccer player in high school. That's not typically a combo that you see between a soccer player and a softball player.
Yeah, decent amount of volleyball on the Bowling Green side of it, given how large a lot of them are. Makes sense.
Yeah, with the taller players.
Yeah.
Volleyball is a sport that favors a lot of those taller players. Ball 2 to Leibler.
Surprising amount of short ones as well, too. I didn't know I did know somewhat until I started covering
Liberos.
volleyball, but the liberos and the defensive specialists on the smaller end, considering you stand next to Jessica Andrews and she's 6'4", and then you stand next to Lindsay LaPinta and she's a good 5'7", still respectively tall, but.
Yeah, shout out to BGSU Volleyball. Alex Del Piombo will be taking over as head coach for them in 2025. Yeah, they had a great season in last year.
Should be fun. A very fun season, retaining a lot of the talent.
That one's fouled back. It's going to be a full count to Leibler. Second full count for her. Great at-bat as well in her first attempt.
Yeah, see if Kravchuk can get a hold of her again here. Left the off-speed on the inside in the first at-bat. That was how Leibler struck out.
There's the 3-2. That one's fouled back. Hey, you mentioned the full count didn't end in Leibler's favor in the first attempt. She'll be looking to change that, as this top of the lineup can be dangerous, especially as you get towards the middle with Robeson coming up in a couple batters. And
Wing Leitner and Robeson is a pretty big combo. Maury also gave her hit in the second inning a big ride, kind of caught by the wind, but that could have put a run on the board. There's another foul ball.
Leibler putting up a fight, making contact on the last couple of pitches. It'll be interesting to see if Kravchuk chooses to maybe drop an off-speed in here, try to change the
I was just about to say that pitchers sometimes get a little bit gun-shy to throw out of the zone in the full count. But you got to understand that Leibler's trying to chase, foul it off, stay alive. Maybe get a hit. Maybe leave it off-speed a little bit outside of the zone here. She did.
Great take. That one just off the plate on the outside corner. So 2 on, nobody out. Mackenzie Kravchuk going to have a challenge ahead of her with 2 on and nobody out in the middle of the lineup coming up. Savannah Wing steps up to the plate, the first baseman.
Not a bad walk, a big battle, but not the one that you necessarily wanted. Savannah grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning that got Carly Penner caught trying for second. She'll try for third with Leibler standing on first base.
Leibler earned that walk for sure after a long AB and great strike off the outside corner for Kravchuk to Wing. Good pitch on that one. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's the 0-1. That one's grounded right to Kravchuk. She's just going to look to third, but go right to first, and Hutter doesn't manage to make the play, and Kent State's going to send the runner home on third after Kravchuk's looking the other way. Or Hutter's
now she's out. Now she's out at first.
Oh, wow.
She rounded, and she made a move towards second base over at first. That was Wing. The original tag by Hutter, she was still in foul territory, and then she made a move towards second and then was called out. Actually, a great call by the umpire, but an unfortunate turn for Hutter, who just wasn't able to snare it.
The runner did cross the plate for Kent State, so that run will count despite the out. Very confusing play on that one. Yeah, it looked like Hutter just caught Wing.
Gardner's going to go settle her down. It was a good play by Kravchuk, checked the runner at third, and then Hutter just wasn't able to pick it. It was a shoestring catch, but it didn't skip off the ground. Mm-hmm. But then a good play on the back end by Hutter to get that out, to recognize that she made a move, tag her before she reached. The umpire was on it, too. We'll see what that ruling is. It's going to be a tough one for Mike to sort out.
They're going to take a look at it. I think they got the call right. It really seemed like they were right on that motion that Wing took towards second base. That ultimately was ended in her demise there at first. So it's going to be runner on third and 1 out as Kendall Leitner steps up to the plate. That's almost a break for Bowling Green, because if that ended with a runner on first and third and nobody out, that's way different than runner on third and 1 out.
Going to be officially ruled as a reach on error by Katie Hutter. And then she's also going to get an out for it. Leibler's going to advance to third, and Penner's going to score. What an odd play.
Yeah, if you're scoring at home, that's a tough one to write out.
Now batting for Kent State, here's the designated
Kendall Leitner steps up to the plate. The sophomore attended Hatboro Horsham High School, transfer from Binghamton University.
Already had a hit trying to help herself in the first inning. Actually, Carly Penner had a great day at the plate after struggling in the first inning of the first game pitched yesterday when she started in the circle. So Leitner trying to follow that trend and continue adding runs. Oh, what an off-speed by Kravchuk. Just dropped that right in over the middle.
Dropped that right in. Count is 1-1. Maybe give Leitner a little bit of a different look. So 1-1 count, 1 out. 1 run scored in this inning.
Probably want to keep this one on the ground to the left side of the infield. Try and keep their runner. Corner's pinching. There we go. Ground ball to third base.
That one sends right to Barron, and Hutter unable to make the play. So that one gets past her, and that's going to score the run from third. And Leitner will move on to second. So it's going to be 4-2 as Leibler comes across.
See who they give the error to. The throw was low, but that's a pickable play by Hutter. And it's going to be a run error and an extra bag.
Hutter's had a rough game here at first base early on.
Not the best start for her.
I mentioned earlier she's not the natural first baseman for Bowling Green. It's usually Taylor Barron, who's over there in the other corner, who made the throw to Hutter as their
They do also have Scarlett Anderson on the bench, who is a decent first baseman. Good pitch there by Kravchuk.
They may need Anderson on the mound.
So they are going to give a throwing error to Barrett, which I don't disagree with there. It's also going to be an advancement to second.
So a runner on second, 1 out after another error from these Falcons. Errors plagued them a lot in their series against Buffalo. That ended with 2 losses and only 1 win in that series. We've seen them be pretty clean, especially against Green Bay on Tuesday, and and against Kent State on Friday. That was a lot of the reason why they had so much success in those.
Yeah, but you mentioned Buffalo, just a couple of errors really turning the tides of the games. The infield seemed to have settled back out. Unfortunate that those runs are going to go down as earned runs for Kravchuk, considering she pitched into ground balls and did exactly what you want to do as a pitcher, and is still going to get credit for him. Leitner's base runner, if she scores, will not count as an earned run because she was on as an error.
2-2 count to the dangerous senior bat, Delaney Robeson, who laces that one foul near the right field line. Steph is not quite able to make it to that one. So tough at bat here for Robeson. This is a crucial one. Kravchuk doesn't want to give up that third run that makes it only a 1-run lead for the Falcons.
Yeah, I like that idea by Robeson. Take it to the opposite field with the runner on second. Advance her as much as possible. Steph has got a good arm. Not the greatest arm, though. So try and get the runner in on a single. Steph is playing decently far back, too. I think that rolled up.
Attempted off speed, that one in the dirt. So full count here. Big moment for these Falcons, a big moment for the Flashes as well. Going to be a pivotal pitch right here. The 3-2 with 1 out and a runner on second. That one's going to be line foul down the third base line.
Good pitch to go back inside on something a little bit harder. I think with a full count, you have the base open. I might just leave an off speed out of the zone here and put a force at all 3 bags. If you miss, 3-2,
that one's fouled off as well. 27 RBIs on the year for Robeson. She is fantastic in the clutch. That 27 is 6th most in the MAC.
We'll see what we see here for Kravchuk. Where's she going to go? 2 fastballs on the inside the last 2 pitches.
That's fastball in the inside corner, and again fouled back. Great at bat right now.
It's just a stalemate. Robeson clearly can't get around on it, although she's practicing that in her swing right there. We'll see if Kravchuk goes back to it.
This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Senior against the junior, and that was going to be a swing and a miss. Great pitch on the off-speed, and Kravchuk.
I think she fouled it off, actually.
Fouled it off, got a little bit.
Maybe fouled it off of the glove of Chevalier. Chavs was close to catching it, but that's 4 fastballs on the inside in a row.
Yeah, so she barely gets a tip of it there. My mistake, it'll be a full count again.
Who's going to change first?
Stalemate. 10th pitch of the at-bat. That one's drilled high into left field. Davis has to come in, and it's going to be foul out of play. Makes a diving attempt at it, but to no avail.
Took a decent route to the ball, but she was pretty deep back, and the wind caught that, forced it down. Scarlett Anderson also warming up a little bit heavier now in the bullpen. Although I wouldn't say Kravchuk has struggled this inning.
Yeah. Keep in mind, 41 pitches for her, and she threw 7 1/3 innings. Although stamina isn't as much of a factor in softball as in baseball, it's still somewhat of a factor.
And in all honesty, the last 2 plays should have been clean outs, and their run wouldn't have scored. Another fastball on the inside. Wow.
Just wasn't that bad.
12 pitch at bat. Going to be 13.
This is what you get when you get one of the best pitchers, maybe one of the hottest in the MAC right now, against one of the best hitters in the conference. You got fantastic at-bats like this.
Like you said, good thing there's no pitch count.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a tough one. Again, the base is open. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to lose, but you don't want to have wasted all of the 12 pitches you've already thrown. 13 right here.
Kravchuk not afraid. That one's lined, and that's going to be foul again. Great contact on Robeson. That's the best.
Another fastball. Just left it a little bit too far over the plate.
She's just a little early on it, over and over.
Head on it, yeah.
Just can't quite catch up.
Yeah, the ones inside she's fouling off. Caught a little bit too far in the hands, but that one she barreled. It just too far to the right of Taylor Barron at third base.
Going to want that one back for sure.
Wasn't that bat?
Reaching close to 15 pitches in this at-bat. Feels like we've been on it for quite a few minutes, as that one's going to be high. And Robeson yells an exclamation of that great at-bat she's had. Ball 4 and 2 on, 1 out. Up steps Katie Jo Mori.
Yeah, that really stinks to lose a 15-pitch at-bat, but you have a force at every base now with 1 out. The double play is in order. Martin's got a heck of an arm at shortstop. He can twist it pretty good. Hunt's got a decent one, and Kravchuk now gets a fresh count.
Maury grounder to Barron. She's going to step on third and send it to first, and it's not in time, but gets the lead runner. So same situation, except it'll be 2 outs. Maury not happy with how that one turned out. But great recognition by Barron to get the runner at third. Didn't even have to look, just stepped her foot on the bag.
2 outs on the base paths already this inning. 3 total in the game out of the 8 outs that we've had. Rush count now. It's still a force at third base. I do not know where that missed.
Yeah, that was a great pitch. Didn't quite catch the zone for Kravchuk. Nogue steps up to the plate. Sophomore got her first hit of the series in her last at-bat. This will be a big moment for her. All-freshman team member with Bowling Green last year. It's going to be in the dirt for ball 2.
Good count for Nogue here. Try and make something happen. As you mentioned, had a single over the shortstop. Looks like Kravchuk's working inside against her as she took an outside pitch to the opposite field last time.
There's the 2-0. That one's lying right off of Kravchuk's glove. She's going to pick it up and underhand it to first, and the very close play at first, but Kravchuk gets it there just in time. The inning is over. Your score is 4-2 after an extensive top of the third inning. Bowling Green holds the lead. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Hello, this is Josh Erlandson on BGSU men's soccer, and these are my Falcon 4 teammates that I'd bring on a cross-country road trip. First, I'll say Trace Terry, because he's the Ox man, good vibes, good music, whole time cross country. Beto, because I've lived with him for 3 years, so I know he won't annoy me, and I know he'll be prepared for the trip too. B-Game, he'd plan a good trip, so that's probably why B-Game. And then the last one would be Jake Lane, because energy the whole trip, that'd be good for the vibes too.
First pitch of the bottom of the third is low to Ava McKee. Your score, Bowling Green Falcons 4, Kent State 2, as Bowling Green looks for their first sweep of a Mid-American Conference opponent since April 1st of 2022. Good one early on.
Been a long time, yeah. A very good game so far. 2 runs in the top of the third. I mentioned off air a second ago. It's going to be 2 earned runs to Kravchik, but I don't feel like they deserve them. 2 errors pretty much led to both of those runs in situations where Kravchik has worked out of before with none given up. So, unfortunately, 2 earned runs for Kravchik, but she'll respond here, and the Falcon offense needs to do the same.
McKee lines that one to second. The play unable to be made. So it was a diving attempt by Udendorf, and McKee. That one will surely be registered as a hit.
Yeah,
She'll get on base.
I don't even know why Robeson threw that ball. I mean, there's just too much risk. McKee had it way beat. Great diving play by the second baseman, Udendorf, to knock it down, keep it out of the outfield, although the result probably would have been the same. Chevs will step up. Got to walk and advance to second in the first inning.
Ashley Chevalier. Robeson came over to support Udendorf after she made the diving play as Chevalier shows the bunt. He'll be trying to get that runner over with nobody out, but doesn't quite get the bat on it there. It'll be a strike.
Maybe a little bit too eager with the feet on the bunt. Tried to look like she was moving down to first base before she even knocked it down. You're bunting for a sacrifice to advance the runner.
Here's the 0-1. She does choose to swing, and that's a little ground ball to third, and that'll be not made. The play not made. Another.
I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, swinging bunt does the job technically, but they don't even get the out.
Wing not able to make the play. Leibler did that all right. Came in and got the little dribbler. Chevalier gets away with one there. That will probably be an error.
Wonder who that's going to go to. It wasn't a great throw. It wasn't a scoop either. It's going to be up to Big Mike up here in the booth to decide. But now 2 runners on, no outs for BG with probably the most clutch hitter on the team right now, Delaney Davis stepping up.
Delaney Davis walk-off in Friday's Game 2.
You're going to give an error to the first baseman.
Delaney shows bunt.
Lack of pick.
But pulls it away for ball 1. So Delaney Nagy under pressure here early on in the third inning after Kent State scored 2 at the top of the third to bring their deficit to only 2 runs.
Yeah, McKee's not too fast at second base, so it's going to be a tall order to get the run in for Bowling Green. A single probably won't do it.
Davis, that one's going to get through the hole in right field and go
they are going
right
hold
to
McKee.
Maury. And that one's they try to throw it into the pitcher, Nagy, and it gets by her. And that's going to score on as McKee with the fist pump. That's a bad play from Kent State. You do not want to see those sorts of plays.
Just a bad relay, but a great single by Delaney Davis, which would have loaded the bases. McKee scored anyway on an error. Chevalier now at third base. Everybody moves up, but 5 for the last 5 for Delaney Davis, including that walk-off. She is, I mean, you can look at 3 players on who's hitting the hottest for Bowling Green. Addie Martin, Peyton Steffes, Delaney Davis, 5 for the last 5.
Yeah, this Bowling Green lineup has been on fire. The score is 5-2 now. Kent State in a huddle. They're going to try to regroup after that tough play. 4 errors in 3 innings for them. Not the start you want on the field.
Yeah, a rough start in the fielding aspect of the game. Kent State was about middle of the pack coming into this weekend. Hard to believe that they would stay there after this weekend. Probably going to drop down a little bit. Not the greatest fielding yesterday, and adding on to it 4 errors today.
So Kendall Matthews will step up to the plate. So the one thing to mention, Delaney Davis 4 for 4 on the weekend now after that hit. Matthews looking to end her cold streak that she's had over this past week or so. No better time to do it than now. Runners on second and third with nobody out. She takes ball 1 low.
Yeah, again, probably the same mentality as Addie Martin, where you don't have to jimmy jack it. You just got to get the barrel on the ball and put it in the outfield. With 1 out, you're going to at least get the runner in. Chevalier at third base. Not the fastest, but if you put it deep enough, she'll get in. And a pretty fast runner in Delaney Davis at second, so a single will score both, assumingly.
It's the 1-1. Matthews showing bunt. That one's going to get past Johnson. And here comes Chevalier, who's going to cross the plate safely. Didn't even need a slide. And Bowling Green puts 6 on the board with that run.
I mean, she almost threw that into Wooster Street. That was far over the head of Alani Johnson.
Yeah, Aaron pitch and another tough play there for Kent State.
And now again, Matthews, all she has to do is put it in the outfield or find some green to get the run in. You got the runner to tag at third.
There goes Jessa O'Connell, comes out to talk to pitcher Delaney Nagy, who's had a rough time here. Both pitchers, both Leitner and Nagy, been getting lit up here by Bowling Green. Head coach Jessica O'Donnell, second season with Kent State, previously 5 years as head coach at St. Francis, PA of the NEC. She had a lot of success for 3 regular season titles, tournament titles as well with that team. And before that, coached at Francis Marion University and the Community College of Baltimore County, Cantonville. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I know, right?
2-1 count. It'll be to Kendall Matthews. Runner on third. She puts the bunt down, and here comes
Here's the squeeze.
The runner diving in. Close play.
Gosh.
It looked like
Suicide squeeze.
It looked like Davis got in there with her hand, but the umpire calls it otherwise.
I absolutely love that call by Gardner. Gardner is not happy with the umpire either. It was incredibly close.
Yeah, that was a hustle by Delaney Davis to get down the line. Maybe, I think if the bunt was maybe just 5 feet maybe to the right, maybe just not putting it right in front of the plate would have gotten the job done. Just
a great play by the battery as well.
Oh, yeah.
By Nagy and by Johnson to make that play. Johnson did get the tag down pretty fast. Looked to be on time to me. Gardner saw it differently. What a gutsy call by Gardner as well to put the suicide squeeze on.
Yeah, trusting the speed of Delaney Davis there at third. Just didn't quite work out in her favor. Now to the top of the order, Katie Hutter has a 1-0 count.
It's going to be a fielder's choice bunt for Kendall Matthews. Now a 2-0 to Hutter. Fell behind and counts twice already today. Had a walk. Got thrown out at home in the first inning and the second.
Nagy's going to want to get this out. Don't want to bring up Addie Martin with 2 on and 1 out. But 3-0 is the count after that ball.
The only hitter to hit in all 3 innings as well. Her plate appearances are getting through the roof. Her at-bats are doing the same as her 82nd at-bat of the season. A lot of walks for Hutter as well.
Hutter standing 5'8" tall, takes strike 1 down the middle.
Just about a half an inch away from one there on the outside.
Kent State infield supporting Delaney Nagy. They really need to get out of this jam here, and they need to put some confidence in this pitcher who's struggled here.
Yeah, you see the middle infield pinching in towards second base a little bit. Smart move, try and twist it and get you out. Oh, good off speed there.
Drop that one right into the middle of the zone. Makes it a full count. Maybe fooled Hutter a little bit. Didn't expect the outspeed with 3 balls.
See if they send Kendall Matthews here on a full count. The battery's going to be looking toward getting Hutter out. Not too worried.
There's the 3-2. That one's put into play right to second base. They're going to try to turn 2. Gets the out at first, but doesn't get the out at first. So it'll be a fielder's choice 4-6, but not the 4-6-3 double play.
Yeah, Robeson bobbled it a little bit at second base. Might have had a good chance if she had made a clean play. But that's, it's not a bad rip from Katie Hutter, too, who put a good 3-2 pitch on. And like I said, if Matthews had gone in that situation, Gardner is also going to walk out and talk to the umpires right now.
Yeah, the umpires are discussing something right close to the second base right here. Maybe discussing the out at second if the bobble could have not.
Yeah, maybe her foot was off the bag.
Yeah, that could be.
Gardner's really not happy with the dive from Davis into home. That was close on the suicide squeeze, and then the. Yeah, she is really not happy.
Trying to put some energy into her squad right now, using that fire and turn it into flames.
2 runs for each team in the third inning. Addie looking to put something on him.
Well, Addie Martin trying to use her momentum with this at-bat. She'll take ball 1 low.
Can't help but pitch around Addie Martin, considering how well she's played.
So I was going to say, with only 1 on and 2 outs, don't really want to give her anything to hit. But given Taylor Barrett is also a threat and Hannah Hunt behind her as well, there's not really much of a break. That one's going to be grounded to the third, and
she might beat it.
And very close play at first, but they're going to make the out, and that's going to end the inning.
Your score is not happy about that either.
Gardner wanted the call at first. A lot of energy and a lot of fire here at Messer Field on Saturday. Bowling Green, Ohio. Bowling Green State University leads Kent State University 6-2. 6 runs on only 5 hits for the Falcons, but we'll stay right here as we head to the top of the first. We'll talk some BG news. First, let's talk about BG Weekly, our weekly BG news show that runs on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel, uploaded every Thursday night if you want to be informed on things happening around the BG community, sports, and everything else around the university. Make sure to check that out on Thursday nights. But Ben, there's a lot of stuff going on. We talked about last time we did the segment, transfers, Lexi Fleming and Marcus Johnson of the women's and men's basketball teams entering the portal, but the story right now is BGSU baseball.
Yeah, the baseball team is on a 11-game bender. They've been playing very well across those 11 games. The last 3 have been a little bit suspect, I would say, considering they've given up 41 runs, or they're giving up 37 runs. They've scored 41. The offense is still as lethal as it was last year. Seems like we're falling into that same position that the pitching staff is just not able to keep up with that offensive production that they have. DJ Newman did not have a good outing in the first game against Kent State. That Bowling Green had to come back in a 10-7 deficit, and I believe the 7th or the 8th inning. Scored their last 2 runs on a wild pitch and an error as well. So, they're getting it done. They're finding ways to win, which is a good thing that we've seen for the last 2 years about these Halleck teams.
Yeah, 41 runs scored in the past 3 games, but also 37 runs allowed, and not been a great start to the game that's live right now. Just next door at Stellar Field, 6-0 Kent State leads, as is bottom of the 4th inning.
Who's pitching for us? Not able to.
Nick Good pitching.
Not able to look at it. Nick Good. Wow, he's decently reliable as well. Kent State is a very dangerous team in baseball. Their offense is quite potent.
Now back to the game happening right in front of us. Messer Field 6-2. Bowling Green leads Kent State. It's top of the 4th inning. 1-1 count. And it's Savannah Wing. Excuse me. It's Cam Utendorf up to bat. That one's going to be skied into left field, and it's going to be easy play for Delaney Davis. Barely had to move out there. Wind didn't bother her too much, and it's 1 out quickly for Mackenzie Krafschick.
Yeah, good quick out. That's what you like to see out of Krafschick, who's got first pitch out only once, only in the 2nd inning. Leadoff hit and walk in the 3rd and the 1st. That's good out there for Krafschick to try and work back against his bottom of the lineup before the top and Carly Penner comes back up on deck.
Ball 1 to the sophomore Lainey Johnson, sophomore out of Decola, Georgia, attended Decola High School. That's a long way to go from Georgia up to Ohio. I'm sure she's not a fan of this weather that we're having right now.
No, I mean, and she brings a lot of energy to the squad as well. You can tell when the team's starting to get fired up. It's because Johnson's getting fired up behind the plate, especially when the pitchers are throwing well, when they're hitting their spots. She's the first one to jump up and tell them. She's kind of, wouldn't say a spark plug necessarily, but she brings a ton of energy, especially to the defense of Kent State.
Here's the 1-1 from Krafschick. Outside for ball 2. How about Krafschick, though? Tough 3rd inning, and she's come back and responded quick out there. And
she did that against Green Bay where she had tough innings. She did that yesterday where she had some tough innings, especially that top of the 7th that she relieved Morgan Beckham for.
That one's going to be lined right up the middle for a single great contact by Johnson. She'll get on base. So 1 on, 1 out. Krafschick Johnson trying to hype up the Kent State dugout.
You see it right there.
Base.
Doing it on the defensive end, doing it on the offensive end now. It'll bring up the top of Carly Penner, who's already been on base twice. He 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Bryn Libler also had a pretty good game. 2 times reaching base for Savannah Wing as well. 2 times reaching base for Kendall Leitner. Granted, those last 2 reached on errors in the last inning. We're going to get a
now batting here is the left fielder number 2.
Pinch runner. Brooke Aberly is going to be the pinch runner for Leilani Johnson.
Aberly, freshman out of Olentangy Liberty High School. She's used it a lot by Kent State in that pitch runner role. Very comfortable in that position. That one's going to be lined over the head of Hannah Hunt at second base. And Carly Penner puts 2 runners on and another hit for her on the day.
A good solid single over the head of Hannah Hunt. Put a good piece on it. Lefty kept it gap to gap. And maybe if you're Morgan Beckham working in the bullpen right now, you start working a little bit harder, see if Krafschick is possibly losing it a little bit. Again, this is the third time this weekend that Kent State has seen Krafchick pitch. 7 1/3 inning.
Beckham, 5 innings of 3 earned run ball in game 2. Interesting to see if she comes in here again today, as now it's ball 1 to Bryn Libler. Walked in her last at-bat.
I mean, I would dare say, one more piece of hard contact, you start really considering whether you want to keep Krafchick in the game. Has still been pretty good so far. Only 2 runs given up.
Yeah, on tie for ball
3
2.
1/3.
Keep in mind, Scarlett Anderson only threw a third of an inning.
Yes.
Game 2 as well, so she is very available.
Morgan Beckham had a very good outing yesterday as well in the relief of Scarlett Anderson.
2-0 is skied foul. Davis almost had a play on it, but didn't quite get to it right near the chain link fence that lines.
Gave it a run.
The line.
Had a chance at it, and just maybe didn't want to go headfirst diving into the fence in left field. I don't blame her for that.
So Libler a little bit late on the pitch that was just outside of the plate. Try to correct that with this pitch. It's going to be the 2-1 from Krafchick as she stares down her scout flip. What do you call those, Ben? The scout cards that you wear on the wrist.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know. The sleeve?
Yeah,
I guess.
Scouting sleeve.
Scouting sleeve.
Yeah.
I don't know. The rare times we had them to put in your hat. But obviously for softball, that doesn't go as far. The little card that you put in your back pocket or your hat. Outside just missed her spot.
So it's going to be a full count, another full count for Libler.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Gardner, you really got to look at how Krafchick's pitching. She's not getting ahead of the count. She's given up pretty hard contact, 2 of the last 3 batters.
That one's going to be a strike, and it's going to bounce right over the glove of Hutter, but Hunt will make the play and try to throw to Hutter, but that one bounces all off her glove once again.
Yeah.
That's going to bring home another Kent State run.
Hutter's confidence has to be pretty low at first base, considering she just missed a backhand over there to field the play, and once Hunt did, it was a hard flip to Hutter from very close range, but she wasn't able to snare it. And Chevalier's going to walk out to settle down Krafchick, who has got very little defensive help in this game as well. That should have at least been an out in the second out of the inning.
3 errors now for Bowling Green, 7 errors across both teams. It's been a messy game all around. Krafchick, as you mentioned, not getting any help. As up will step Savannah Wing. It's not going to get any easier for her. Runners on the corners with only 1 out. Kent State did score a run on that error, so it's 6-3 now. Bowling Green still leads.
And the split runners as well. We'll see if Libler wants to get going. Try a double steal or something if you're O'Donnell.
Line drive by Wing. That one barely gets over the head of the diving Addie Martin. That's going to score a run as that one skies over Chevalier on the throw from Davis, and it will advance the Kent State runners another base. Savannah Wing will likely get registered with a single there and an advancement on
throwing looks like we're going to get a single and a throwing error. That's what I would say. Runner on second and third now as well.
Kent State narrowing this lead down. Garner talking to the umpire. Looks like some changes might be made right now. Potentially.
We'll see who's walking out. I think Beckham's coming in from the bullpen, possibly, or getting ready in the bullpen as well. Gardner's taking her time. They did start warming up Beckham, probably 5-10 minutes. Yeah, she's coming out of the bullpen now. If I'm not mistaken, that is Morgan Beckham.
And we'll stay here until that move is fully 100% confirmed. But 6-4 lead for Bowling Green now. Kent State is gradually working and breaking down this Mackenzie Krafchick pitcher.
You're bringing up Kendall Leitner and Delaney Robeson, who are very dangerous hitters. Leitner in a short sample size was still batting almost 400, and Robeson at the same, batting 400 coming into the weekend. Didn't have the greatest last couple of games, but she's had a pretty decent start so far. The walk advanced to second.
Krafchick does hand the ball off to Morgan Beckham, and we'll get a new pitcher for the Falcons. When we come back, your score is 6-4 here in the top of the fourth. You're listening to Saturday Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon women's tennis heads up I-75 to battle Toledo on Sunday, March 23rd at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Messer Field. We have a pitching change. Mackenzie Krafchick exits the game after 4 runs were put up on the board for Kent State. Morgan Beckham, the freshman, enters the game. Tell me a little bit about this new pitcher, Ben.
Yeah, she pitched pretty well yesterday, I'd say. The stat sheet doesn't reflect it too much, but 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, no strikeouts, 2 walks, 7 hits. Again, like Mackenzie Krafchick was able to hit the zone quite well. Those 2 walks, no strikeouts, but she pitched to contact very well, which is a good thing to see. And Kent State seemingly struggled a decent amount against her yesterday. Didn't get a lot of defensive help either, a couple of errors by Hannah Hunt. So we'll see how this goes for Morgan Beckham against a pretty difficult part of the lineup.
Beckham 9.07 ERA on the year in 27 innings. As that one skied right to Hannah Hunt, and that'll be an easy out for the Falcons. Kendall Leitner doesn't get the outcome that she wanted on that at-bat, so very quick out from Morgan Beckham. They'll like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's the weak contact that we saw yesterday from Morgan Beckham. She's chatting up Hannah Hunt, making a very good play on that ball as well, ranging back, looking into the sun. He's up the most dangerous hitter for Kent State. And we talk all the time, Henry, about how good Morgan Beckham's stuff is.
Yeah.
She has very good stuff with her off-speed, with her fastball. When she's hitting the zone, she's a very tough pitcher to hit. We saw right there a high heater.
Ball 1 to Robeson. Yeah, I mean, her fastball has some solid velocity on it, and she's only a freshman. I think in a couple of years as the Middlesbrough, Florida native develops, she's going to have some serious play on both of those pitches. That one's fouled back for strike 1.
Yeah, that was kind of ripped, but way foul. She got way ahead of it. I think the velocity is highest because of it. That's the problem with being a hard thrower is that it comes hard off the bat as well if somebody gets hard contact on it.
Suarez on second and third. Here's the 1-1. That one skied into left field. Davis has a play on it, and she will make that play right near the left field foul line. So Morgan Beckham gets out of the jam. Your score is 6-4. Bowling Green holds on to the lead over Kent State. As we reach the bottom of the 4th, you're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Falcon Media is an organization encompassing student media organizations at Bowling Green State University. BG24 is the video component of Falcon Media that creates a weekly live newscast every Tuesday. All videos and live streams can be found on the BG Falcon Media YouTube and website, or BG24's Twitter. BG Falcon Media, empowering students with creative freedom by exploring technologies and focusing on audience engagement and service to our communities.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
My name is Kyle Blasingame from BGSU Men's Soccer, and my Falcon 4 favorite hobbies are Kirby, which is a game created by BG Men's Soccer. My second favorite hobby would be Salute IIO. I recently bought a PC and I've been gaming it. My third favorite hobby is playing golf with Kyle Cusimano. And my fourth favorite hobby is watching Game of Thrones with Brendan Graves.
New pitcher in the circle for the Kent State Golden Flashes. It is the freshman, Ella Johnson. Ben, tell us a little bit about Ella.
Yeah, Ella Johnson pitched in the first game yesterday against Bowling Green, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs for her. She relieved Carly Penner, although Johnson was very good between the 3rd and the 5th inning, I'd say. Had a little bit of struggle when she came in, gave up 4 earned runs in the 2nd inning, but kind of settled in against Bowling Green. And Bowling Green just scrapped a couple more runs in there in the 10-2 victory.
Barrett down 0-2 to Johnson early on in this at-bat. Barrett flew out to left field in her last at-bat as that one's outside for ball 1. Ella Johnson has struggled a little bit this year. Freshman out of Brooksville, Kentucky, attended Bracken County High School. 8.67 ERA in 25 appearances. A lot of play that the Flashes have given her. That one nearly clips Barrett on the inside ball.
Yeah, not the greatest statistically, but again, like Morgan Beckham has very good stuff if she can start landing it on the zone. And a very impressive pitcher.
Two similar pitchers right now between Beckham and Johnson.
Very similar.
That was received high.
0-2 count, and then she, again, like Kravchuk was doing a little bit, is kind of nibbling. Nagy was doing the same thing.
Don't want to give Taylor Barrett, with their .364 average, anything to hit. She will capitalize.
Do you blame her?
Not at all. Here's the 3-2. That one's going to be low and inside. And Barrett likes that one. Early walk. Gets the leadoff hitter on base for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's kind of a momentum killer. Kent State came into the inning with a very strong defensive presence, considering screaming after a lot of the pitches, even ones that were pretty close. Johnson talking up Johnson, the pitcher now. And that'll bring up Hannah Hunt.
Falcons, second baseman number 2, Hannah Hunt.
Now at the second baseman. Fresh at bat here for the Falcons. That one's drilled into center field, but it's going to be an easy play for the former Falcon, Erilyn Nogue. So 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Got a decent piece on it, kept it up the middle, but right at the fielder, unfortunately, put that up a gap, and you might have been able to score Barrett.
Good contact, but unlucky.
Yeah.
On the play, a great hitter for the Falcons in terms of who you want up in this situation. Peyton Steffes, although she did strike out looking against Nagy in the 3rd inning.
Third different pitcher that Steffes has seen this game. Saw the starter, Leitner, and saw Nagy in the 2nd inning. Now seeing Ella Johnson now. Tough adjustments for Bowling Green as well to be making, considering you're seeing a different look every time.
Just the 1-0. That one's grounded to second base. That'll be Uendorf, who's going to go to Hunt, and the play's not able to be made. Try to get Hunt out at second base. And that was Robeson who wasn't able to catch the throw, and I don't think it would have been in time anyway. So Steffes gets on base with the likely single.
We'll see what they rule at Barron at second and Steffes at first. That's a fast lineup for Ava McKee, who's stepping up to the plate.
Oh, yeah.
Gardner getting signs now to see what we're going to do.
11 combined stolen bases between Steffes and Barron on the base pass right now. Here's the pitch to McKee. That one's high for ball 1.
It's a reach on a fielder's choice, and Barron's going to be safe at second. They ruled that she was going to beat it anyway.
Yeah. McKee singled in her last at-bat. She'll take the 1-0 high again for ball 2.
Arda talked yesterday after the game about McKee and how she has a tendency to get the ball in the air. It's a good time for that situation, considering a ground ball might be a double play, considering McKee is not the fleetest of foot.
2-0 is in there. Umpire calls it out for strike 1, so Johnson gets that one in there.
It's really like looking at mirror images of Morgan Beckham and Ella Johnson.
It really is.
Considering both freshmen, both throw very similar. Both have a pretty good arm, pretty good off speed as well.
Inside for ball 3.
Barely.
Yeah, just barely on the inside.
Great at bats today for Ava McKee. Had a single last and scored a run in the 3rd inning.
You know, we talk about confidence. The confidence that a clutch hit that she had in the 7th can really do a lot.
Yeah.
For a player. That one's in there for strike 2.
That
so
was absolutely dotted. A tough pitch to swing at and a 3-1. Which is a hitter's count. You want to sit on your pitch and wait for it, but when it comes up perfect like that, what are you going to do? It's got to be your best if you're Johnson here.
Here's the 3-2. That one's fouled back. So we'll get a 7th pitch of this at-bat.
A little bit late on it, but protecting the plate.
Ava McKee, number 88. Freshman, one of 2 players out of Pataskala, Ohio. Attended Watkins Memorial High School. Powerhouse down there in the LCL. That one's not going to get past the first baseman for Kent State. That's Savannah Wing. It makes a fantastic play and gets McKee out, although the great contact that she made. So runners do advance, but...
And very good situational hitting for McKee to hit behind the runners and make sure they advance. Now you bring up Chevs, who with a single scores 2, considering, again, Steffes at second base, Barrett at third base, both pretty fast.
Pressure is on. Even a single here by Ashley Chevalier could bring this lead to 4 runs for the Falcons and give them a nice pad. Going to give Morgan Beckham a happy smile on her face after she gets that extra padding. But it'll be strike 1 to Ashley Chevalier.
Yeah, hard fastball on the inside. She likes to live on that inside part of the plate. Johnson's painted that yesterday. She did that today as well.
It's harder for those taller hitters to reach that inside part of the plate.
Certainly. Tough to get the bat around maybe for Delaney Davis, Peyton Steffes, Taylor Barrett. It's a little bit easier, but get to the taller, larger players, tougher to get your hands inside, tougher to be quick with the bat.
Ashley Chevalier stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She'll get the 1-1 here right now. That one's low for ball 2. Johnson watching Barrett over there at third, who's trying to maybe attract some attention. Attract a mistake potentially from Leilani Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson trying to live low and inside. Makes sense for a larger hitter.
Oh, it's way outside. Great play.
Outside. Yeah, throwing it low and inside too much and tried to go outside and overcompensated a little bit. Now it's a beautiful hitter's count for Chevalier.
Walk wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for the Flashes with first base open.
It would also bring up a hot hitter.
It would. One's fouled back, so it's going to be another full count. Ella Johnson throwing confident out there on the mound, really.
Yeah, very.
Been dotting pitches. A lot of the strikes that she's thrown have been on either the outside or the inside corners.
Like I said, she did yesterday too. Pitched better than 7 earned runs shows in her 4 2/3 innings. And a good fight for Chevalier too. Just fouled another one off.
That one goes way, way out of play. So Kent State fan will run to get that one. And
I mean, how many great at-bats have we seen on both sides today?
Lot, a bunch.
I mean, this is one from Chevalier. We saw him from Robeson. Saw one from Penner as well.
There's another 3-2. That one's going to be inside, and it'll be ball 4. Johnson, another great play to keep that one in front of her and keep Barron on third base. So it's going to be bases loaded for the red-hot Delaney Davis.
Yeah, 2 outs. Big situation for Davis, who's capitalized the last couple times that she's been up. Walk-off yesterday in the second game. A single that scored Reagan Stephanie from second base, who was on second on the hit from Ava McKee, who advanced to second on the throw home. And a great hit by Ava McKee to tie the game up. We're going to get a mound visit here from Jessica O'Donnell of Kent State. A big situation for the legacy of Delaney Davis as well, who's still trying to cement herself in the lineup, considering her first game in a while starting and trying to maintain her position over Hannah Massaro.
Yeah, the junior out of Washington, Illinois, has not maybe gotten the play that we've kind of expected her to, with a couple of the younger outfielders kind of taking some of those reps, but she's been 4 for 4 this weekend, hasn't gotten out once.
Yeah, pretty much a starter in the outfield last year, all of last year mostly, and
Next up for the Falcons,
doing some good things this year and limited quantity of at-bats. We'll see if she can continue.
Oh, it's going to be just outside. Good pitch from Johnson.
That
Didn't
was
get
close.
the call. 1-0. Huge, huge, huge point in this game. Bottom of the 4th inning, 6-4 as you score. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And your hero from Friday's game 2 is up to plate to make another heroic move. Oh, it's outside for ball 2.
Here's another hitter's count.
Johnson kind of losing command here, it seems like, in these last couple at-bats.
Feeling the situation a little bit, possibly as a freshman. Not too many of these in her collegiate career.
Class 1A All-State team member in high school.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, great pitch from Johnson again.
Yeah. Leilani Johnson is not too happy with it, but he'll accept it. That one was, I mean, maybe a stitch away. It's like a very close pitch, but you have the green light here.
Her teammates in the infield giving her confidence. Delaney Davis fakes a bunt. That one's going to be called a strike.
Probably just to get in the head of the pitcher.
For
Make
sure.
her mess something up in her motion. Now you're at a true hitter's count and a green light count as well of 3-1 with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Here's the 3-2. That was going to be swung on for Davis and didn't get quite enough contact on it. Sent towards the Bowling Green dugout, foul.
Yeah, huge situation, to say the least. Get some runs back. 2 runs for both teams in the third. 2 runs for Kent State in the top of the 4th now. You're in the bottom. haven't scored yet.
That one's going to be put in play by Davis as that one sneaks past Delaney Roberson and goes right up center field. That's going to score 2 Falcons. They're going to go to third, and Chevalier's going to be safe at third base as Davis. Talk about clutch. Delaney Davis, 5 for 5 on the weekend. Maybe none as big as that one. 8-4 now. Falcons score 2 on that one.
Yeah, also advancing to second on some very good awareness on the throw being to third base. Cephas and Barrett will score pretty quickly. I mean, that was pretty much a trickler that got through. She just put it in a great location for the infield that was pinching. Now you've got second and third. The inning's still going for Kendall Matthews.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I know. I mean, that was a little bit of both. I'd say that's 6 for 6 for Delaney Davis in her last 6 at-bats. A walk-off and a big swing there.
Ball 1 to Matthews, who got on base last time up. Junior transfer from Lakeland College. Only transfer that came into this Bowling Green squad this year. He's made a difference at the bottom of this lineup. Takes ball 2.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to call that one that she swung.
Gosh.
That was tough to tell from up here.
Yeah. I didn't think she went around, but umpire obviously thought so. It is the third base umpire, so he doesn't have as good a look as the first base might have had. So on the inside.
That's going to be a taken strike for strike 2, so that's a pivotal call that third base umpire just made.
The pitch selection for Kendall Matthews this weekend has not been the greatest. I mean, that one about as prime wheelhouse as you can get for a power hitter.
And she holds off on that one low and inside in the dirt. Talk about, great performances behind the plate. Lainey Johnson has been a brick wall, despite maybe some control issues for the freshman, Ella Johnson.
Yeah, missing by quite a margin there, and Johnson still able to snuff it out with a runner at third.
Ooh, Kent State players wanted that call, but they're not going to get it, that one.
Johnson tried to buy that one a little bit too much, I think. Tried to sell it. Again, another full count, 2 outs, second and third.
Can they make it happen again? 2-out rally. Can Matthews make it happen? Here's the 3-2. That one's fouled out of play. But, just more great at-bats from these Falcons. Back-to-back full counts now. They're really grinding down this freshman pitcher is feeling the stress for sure.
Just a step late on it. With the way that the fielding has gone for both sides, you might as well put it in play and hope that something good happens. You've got 2 runners in scoring position.
The new Falcon trying to solidify her spot in the lineup. That one's fouled off once again. Another, that one flown way past the Kent State dugout.
3 for 3 today and 3 RBIs for Delaney Davis, who stands on second base. Unbelievable for her, considering her lack of play the rest of the season. Up and
Ball
away.
4 to Matthews. Wow. Ella Johnson did not want to walk. Kendall Matthews, that's going to bring out the top of the lineup. And she's not able to get out of this inning.
But, again, Katie Hutter has struggled a little bit today, not only at the plate but in the field. Her confidence might not be the highest. 0 for 2 with a walk. 3 runners left on base for Hutter as well. The bottom of the lineup has done very well. Very good things for BG, especially Delaney Davis. She got 3 of the 6 hits for Bowling Green.
Katie Hutter hitting .291 on the year. Going to improve that batting average after she grounded into a fielder's choice in her last at-bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs once again for the Falcons.
Yeah, the first pitch is high. It's about the waist of Hutter for Johnson, who's kind of missing the zone a little bit more here. A good pitch on the inside.
Hutter takes a nice cut. Doesn't get any contact on the ball.
Third time today that 6 or more batters have hit in an inning for Bowling Green.
Oh! That one's going to hit Hutter in the helmet.
Caught her in the dome.
Yeah, Ella Johnson with that.
That's an RBI, though.
High-velocity fastball.
Painful RBI.
Helmet gets the credit for that run. It's 9-4 now. Bowling Green leads. But Ella Johnson, we've seen her have some control issues in this inning. That ultimately leads to that hit to the head. Looks like Hutter's going to be okay. That's why you wear the helmets.
We saw a couple of pitches that were quite similar to that with righties in the box. It just happened that the lefty in the box.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, a dome seeker. And did we just get a pinch runner?
I think she's just going to drop off her leg guard possibly, but yeah, we are going to get a pinch runner.
Can't really tell. Massaro's pinch running. Massaro's going to be at first base then. with Matthews at short, or second base, I should say, and Delaney Davis at third.
Hannah Massaro, the speedy freshman who played both games on Friday. What's hitless in those games?
So it might have some positional moves in the field as well if Massaro is going to stay and not just be a pinch runner.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine if it was just pinch runner, they would go to Reagan Stephanie.
And just the tough day that Katie Hutter's had at first also might factor into that potential move.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gardner, for the home plate umpire, having a discussion and making some changes.
A little bit of a rough weekend overall for Katie Hutter. I mean,
sure.
1 for 8 now. Decent amount of walks. She does a good job of getting on base, but a couple of runners left on base as well. That situation just got hit in the head. It might just be time to eat your Wheaties and go home.
Up steps Addie Martin with the bases loaded and 2 outs. See how Ella Johnson handles this situation. That one's high and outside. The control, man.
You have nowhere to put her, but it's such a dangerous hitter at the plate.
2 home runs on Tuesday.
How this
10
goes
hits.
with hindsight, it might be better to just walk her and make sure it's 1 run.
There's
a
big cut and a miss for
good
Martin.
healthy strike.
7 runs on the weekend, 5 RBIs, 11 hits now after a hit earlier in this game.
Doesn't look like she's afraid to go at her, which is good pitching confidence. Can't be afraid of hitters.
That one's high for ball 2. Potential Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week contender.
That'd be my vote.
That's mine as well.
Not knowing what's happening with baseball right now. But 12-1 Kent State lead, so I don't think any baseball player is going to get a good
6-1 lead
win today. Three 3-1 the count now with 2 outs.
12-1 Kent State baseball leads.
There's a refresh button at the top
there,
buddy.
I didn't refresh my live stats there. That's my fault. 3-1 count to Martin. That one skied deep into right field, but it's going to be playable and caught by the right fielder, Katie Jo Mori. So that's going to end the inning. But Falcons capitalize, scoring 3 in the frame. 9-4 is your score. Falcons lead Kent State as they look for their first MAC sweep since 2022. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
What's going on, guys? I'm Darius Lorfields, junior safety here at BG. My Falcon 4 favorite things for homecoming, definitely seeing some of the alumni, you know, the big crowd, you know, hearing them roar, the Falcon Walk pregame, getting to see more people, and then just winning the game overall and celebrating after. Go Falcons.
Welcome back to a windy Saturday afternoon at Messer Field. Bowling Green softball leads Kent State Golden Flashes in their pursuit for their first MAC sweep since 2022. We have some fielding changes out there after Katie Hutter exits the game. Tell me about them.
Yeah, Hannah Massaro is going to play first base for Bowling Green and the removal of Katie Hutter, maybe due to getting hit in the head with the softball, but probably more due to just struggling this weekend in the field and at the plate as well a little bit. I've never seen Hannah Massaro play first base. I don't believe she has this season. So I don't know how quality first baseman she is. Freshman, quite a decent left fielder, I'd say.
Freshman from Worcester, Ohio, registered as an infielder on the roster, played a lot of first base in high school. That one's going to be a little liner, and Martin and Barrett collided, but they made the play.
Barrett stole the putout. Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do with the positions if you wanted to get Katie Hutter out of the game. Barrett has played first base, but you have nobody else to play third. So that's Addie, and if Addie plays third, you have no shortstop with Cam Kaufman's injury. So
that was Katie Jo Maury who lined out to the shortstop. Coming up next, Erlen Nogue, followed by Cam Utendorf, who stands on deck. 1-0 count to Nogue. Here's that 1-0 pitch. And called right down the middle. Great pitch from Morgan Beckham, who came in confidently and got the Falcons out of that jam in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, she did. Got 2 straight outs on 4 total pitches, I believe. Not a bad performance. Good one yesterday as well. Rounding out a decent pitching staff the last week.
High skying pop-up that's caught by Addie Martin. That one's tricky with all the wind that we've got here today and the sun glaring in.
Tracked it down beautifully, a P5 and a P6 the last 2. This is a good weak contact we saw from Morgan Beckham yesterday, which is not too often to see from more of a power pitcher or a hard-throwing pitcher, but her off-speed and her stuff is just so good.
Up steps Utendorf. That one's grounded to short. It's going to be Addie all 3 plays, and she's going to make a quick one as Massaro just comes off the base.
No way.
That would have been a great play and a great inning for the Falcons.
Got to be an error for the first baseman. I thought she got a cleat on it, but
just comes off the bag. Massaro, the freshman you mentioned, hasn't played much first base this year as the troubles at that position continue for the Falcons.
It's 3 errors.
Beckham left to rebound after that. It's going to be bottom of the lineup. It's going to be Mulaney Johnson who steps up, 5'4" sophomore.
Had a good hard hit ball.
Michelle Gardner's going to come out, and they're going to talk about this one. Beckham, I think she wanted that Beckham, out there on that last play.
Yeah, I think she did too. I don't know what they're talking about necessarily. There is 2 outs and only a runner on first base.
Well, this is a crucial at bat because you don't want to bring up the top of the lineup with 2 runners on and
very true.
Negate
Johnson
that big lead that they got.
Has hit the ball hard in the series when she hits it, so a dangerous pitcher. You do have what looks to be Scarlett Anderson in the pen.
That is Anderson up there. And Johnson hitting 346 coming in this one.
I think maybe Beckham thought she was going to get pulled out. Maybe that's why she was jumping up and down, maybe trying to persuade Gardner to leave her in.
And that would have been a quick pull from
I agree.
First-year head coach. Johnson 1 for 2 on the day, looking for her second of the game. Crucial at-bat for both of these teams. Time winding down for Kent State to eat into this 5-run lead with only 3 innings left in this one, and Bowling Green looking to make history with this big sweep. That would really solidify kind of the improvement that this team has saw over this year compared to last year.
Yeah, huge improvement, and the fact that we're talking about pitching positively is there's a high strike is so far in that game, I believe. Third most. Foul back.
0-2. Beckham ahead in the count.
I mean, that's
was pretty low and pretty much in the dirt.
Yeah.
Off the outside of the plate.
There we go.
If you know the answer, head over to our marketing table. Be the first person to give the correct answer to win your prize.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com. Welcome back to Messer Field. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. Your score is 9-4. Morgan Beckham got out of that frame scoreless after a great strikeout there on a huge at-bat against Mulaney Johnson. So heading into the bottom of the 5th. That one's going to be hit to short from Taylor Barrett, and a great play by Delaney Robeson to get Barrett out. It'll be 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, decently hit floating line drive there on a one-hop routine play for the shortstop to Taylor Barron. It'll bring up Hannah Hunt. Yeah, Beckham, she is borderlining on great. We talked before on Green Bay that Bowling Green really needed to bring in a third pitcher to be very strong with Anderson and Kravchuk. And it looks like Beckham's making a pretty good bid for it. And it's a pretty good 1-2-3 with those three pitchers.
Between Marshall and Beckham, the two freshmen who've come into this rotation this year, Beckham's kind of prevailed as the pitcher that Gardner really likes to rely on here in these MAC games.
The way she pitched in the top, hard to believe she wouldn't be able to finish. She looked to be dealing, the only base runner being out an error. Could have very well, or probably should have had a 1-2-3.
So up steps Hannah Hunt with one out. And Bowling Green leads 9-4. Kent State looking to avoid their 6th straight MAC loss. They're going to go down to 0-6, 7-22 overall if they do end up losing this one today. That's a big hole to dig out of for Jessica O'Donnell and this Golden Flash squad.
Yeah, certainly not the start that you'd want to MAC play, but a lot of time left. Still a chance that you can scrape this game out. BG had a 4-run comeback yesterday to win the game. It's only a 5-run game right now, so crazier things have happened. Doesn't help when the fielding has been as poor as it's been for both sides and just make the score so much more inflated than it should be.
Well, I note that one passes Johnson for a wild pitch, but no one on base, so it doesn't matter much. 9 combined errors between these two teams, 5 for Bowling Green, 4 for Kent State, and most of those have been at the first base position for the Falcons. That one skied again, foul past the right field chain link fence. So it's going to be a full count, plus a foul ball for Hannah Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt 3 for 5 yesterday. Has not had a hit yet today. A couple of walks, though. Been on base twice.
That one's going to be lined up the middle.
There's one.
Gets the base hit there. Just past the second base bag, and Hunt reaches base. 353 hitter on the year. Improves it with that one. So 1 on, 1 out. Falcons look to add on to their 9-4 lead.
Another great aspect of this team is being able to keep the ball up the middle. They shoot the ball to all fields, but they're so good at shooting that middle gap right back up at the pitcher. And it's a discipline thing, choosing your pitch, being on it as well. It's one of the biggest things that Gardner has instilled to the offense this season.
I mean, they have had fielding troubles here and there throughout the year, but this offense has just been so impactful, and it's just a complete opposite turn of events from last year. The team had a 228 team average. That was about 25 points below the 10th place team in the MAC. So it's just been a complete turnaround for all of these players. Hunt, Steffes, Hutter, Martin, Barron, these players that really didn't have good years in 2024, most of them hitting close to 200 or under 200, and they've just completely turned it around under Gardner.
And so much talent lost from last year to this year. Your best hitter, the transfer of Erilyn Nogue to Kent State as well. Peyton Dulles was lost, a couple of pitchers as well. Regan Williamson, your best hitter. So a lot of loss from last year to this year, and still an even better season so far. Well, even if it ended right now, a better season.
Yeah, the team surpassed their win total from 2024 against Green Bay, reaching 7 wins in that game, and now looking for their 10th on the year.
2-2 count now to Steffes with a runner on first. Probably going to attack the zone. Giselle Johnson, considering the score. No reason to get finicky with the zone.
Yeah, that one fouled back, so Steffes putting up a battle. I mean, Ella Johnson has been no easy outing for her. It's just been nonstop pressure from the Bowling Green lineup. Tough at-bats.
Yeah, tough to say that she's pitched poorly. It's just Bowling Green has attacked her at every juncture. That's just
great pitch. Johnson catches the outside corner and sends Steffes to the dugout after a backwards K.
Yeah, Steffes hasn't had the greatest game. 2 runs scored, reached on error in the first, fielder's choice in the fourth. That's their only 2 base runners, and then struck out looking in the second, now the 5th. So coming off a very good performance yesterday.
Up steps Ava McKee, who's had good contact in both her last at-bats, earned a single ahead of her line out to first base in her last at-bat.
Yeah, maybe brought some confidence from yesterday's game where she got a clutch time, game-tying double in the 7th inning. Down the right field line, took it the other way, too.
Typical catcher playing the DH role today and yesterday.
Got that hit off of Delaney Nagy.
Takes that one pretty much down the middle for strike one. So it's a 1-1 count. Score is 9-4 Bowling Green over Kent State. 2 outs with a runner on first in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, my gosh.
Scoring update on the BGSU baseball game that's happening against Kent State just next door.
Top of the 5th inning, 2 out. But 20-1, Kent State is beating Bowling Green. So it looks like that 12-game winning streak is not going to happen. Although they've come back the last 3 games.
There's a line and drive. Another great contact at bat for McKee, but line right to Cam Utendorf at second base. So that will end the frame here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll head to break. Your score is 9-4. Bowling Green leads Kent State heading to the top of the 6th. You are listening to Saturday Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Laura Mahoney from BGSU Women's Soccer Team, and my Falcon 4 favorite summer activities are going to the pool with my friends and spending time with them, cookouts because I get to spend time with my family, tanning because it's relaxing and it's out in the sun, and getting ice cream because everybody loves ice cream.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Morgan Beckham deals ball one high to leadoff hitter Carly Penner as Kent State looks to mount a comeback on their 5-run deficit to the Bowling Green Falcons here in the top of the 6th inning.
This will be a very good test for Beckham. She hasn't seen the top of the order yet today. And that top of the order has been very good.
Good contact from Penner, but great play from Taylor Barron to send that one to Hannah Massaro. Tough play on a hard contact from Penner. And Massaro, I don't want to say it, but a rare catch there from first base for these Falcons.
Really nice to be able to knock that down. You see Gardner talking up Massaro at first base, who was able to make that play. I think that exact play is one that Hutter muffed early in the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the day for her, but Massaro filling in. Doing a good job so far.
Yeah, Hutter hitting the head with a hit-by-pitch in her final at-bat, which I think was kind of the
probably the icing on the cake.
That it's not really her day out there. So just send her back to the dugout and let her move on to Youngstown State on Wednesday, as there's going to be a ground ball through the hole between first and second. That's Bryn Libler who gets on base with a single.
Yeah, fine contact. Shot it right through the gap. Not worrisome for Morgan Beckham. It does put a runner on, so she'll have to battle out of that with Savannah Wing and Kendall Leitner coming up.
Tough part of the lineup. Wing hitting 274, and then Leitner and Robeson both in near 400. So meat of the lineup for the Golden Flashes, and they're going to probably have to do it in this inning if they're going to want any shot with likely the bottom of the lineup coming up there in the 7th. But Morgan Beckham, how about her confident performance here?
I was just about to say that. Such a confident strike she just threw there to the 3-hitter in Savannah Wing.
Savannah Wing, impressive career here in her 4th year with Kent State. Made the 2022 All-MAC freshman team, playing her 166th career game. 135 career hits now for the senior. Always admire these players who stay with their clubs now for all 4 years. Savannah Wing doing just that, playing a fantastic first base.
Especially in a mid-major school when, we always talk about great players and what they're going to do. It's almost an expectation that they leave, unfortunately, and that robs a lot of mid-major schools some very good talent, some very good play consistently year after year.
If you're getting tired of that NIL discussion, as there's ground ball to second base, Hunt will send that to Massaro for out number 2. If you're getting tired of the discussion about NIL, it's really only going to get more and more of a talking point in terms of how much it's going to happen, how many more players are going to see transfer just year after year after year.
And we're seeing more popular sports in the college realm, basketball and football, being affected a lot more than softball, baseball, hockey, volleyball. The soccers are getting up there, I'd say, the amount of transfers that there is. But
yeah, soccer, baseball, softball, those kind of second-tier college sports are really starting to get into it as money kind of starts to pop in here and there for some of these players for these sports, especially, top 25 teams, like, the money that Oklahoma softball players might make transferring over there, and a lot of the SEC teams in general.
It makes it so much better when you're able to force 8 innings against the 4-time defending national champions.
0-1 count to Kendall Leitner. That one's going to be in there for strike 2.
It's a confident strike to one of the top 3 hitters on the Kent State team. She is not backing down from any of these.
No.
It's just such an impressive display this weekend from Beckham.
These are the kind of innings that you want to give these freshman pitchers with a big lead and just let them go out there and deal, show what they've got on the big stage.
And she's dealing. She's doing everything Gardner has asked her to do so far. She's getting ahead in counts. She got a 1-2 right here to Leitner to the middle of the order.
High for ball 2. A lot of the games that a lot of these freshmen threw in earlier in the season were games against teams like Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Indiana, Wichita State, games that aren't realistically super winnable just in general for a MAC squad like the Falcons. And it's not a great confidence builder for a lot of these freshmen.
And just tough games for like making your your couple of debuts in a collegiate uniform and doing it against such great teams. Like you said, Indiana, some great teams in the first series as well. Oklahoma's a very tough one to make outings against. I think Beckham pitched pretty decent in that game in limited innings.
Yeah, full count now. That one's skied over the press box here. This is kind of Leitner still to bat. It's her another full count for these Kent State Golden Flashes. But a lot of these players, Beckham, Marshall specifically, have had a ton of success, obviously, in high school between most of these players earning All-State first team or close to it. And then they come here to college and, getting hit outing after outing after outing right off the bat isn't, something that they're used to. So a lot of it is just getting used to that sort of thing and, changing your mindset in terms of how your performance
As we mentioned, 5 innings pitched for Morgan Beckham, just looking at her stats right now. The most innings that she pitched in the season was yesterday, and a very good outing for her, only 3 earned runs. Her first time over 1 earned run since March 15th, and their first time giving up more than 3 runs was 7 against Indiana. And then before that was Coastal Carolina. Before that was Wisconsin. So 3 very good teams in a row that she struggled against. And unsurprisingly, got into MAC play, and she was right back down to earth.
That one's inside. That's going to be ball 4 to Leitner. Great at-bat for her. So it's going to be 2 on, 2 out to bring up Delaney Robeson. Here's a shot for Kent State to kind of eat away at this 5-run lead that the Falcons have built up.
Yeah, not the greatest lose for Beckham, taking a 1-2 count early, and Leitner doing a good job of turning it into a walk with a very strong at bat. Delaney Robeson is another dangerous hitter, and she's got a ducky on the pond, at least one.
This top of this Kent State lineup has been big savior for this team that struggled. I mentioned last in the MAC in terms of team ERA. It's been Leitner and Robeson really specifically that have just come across and saved this team in a lot of standpoints.
Yeah, Robeson hitless today, hitless in the first game against Bowling Green. 2 for 4 and 2 RBIs last night in the second game.
High for ball 2. So maybe pitching around Robeson a little bit might be a move here, especially with Keijo Mori coming up in 275 on the year compared to Robeson's 398 average.
And Mori has had good swings today, though. She's given a couple of balls a ride, and she's got one of the best power bats on the team.
Ground ball to Martin. She has to go to her side to make that play. And what a stretch by Hannah Massaro to get Morgan Beckham out of the inning. Beckham's going to appreciate that play from the freshman and from the redshirt freshman, Addie Martin. So 9-4 is your score as the Falcons head into the bottom of the 6th. Your score, 9-4. You're listening to BGSU Softball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Listen live every weekday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
It'll be Ashley Chevalier, Delaney Davis, and Kendall Matthews up to the plate in this bottom of the sixth. Your Falcons lead 9-4 over Kent State. Ben, just kind of a statement win here after two big wins on Friday for this team, as they are really showing their improvement in this series.
Yeah, if they are able to get it done, it'll be done in front of Derek Vandermeer and President Rodney Rogers, who I see down there watching this game. Very cool that they're here. Supporting BGSU softball, and hard not to support the boost that they've had this year, and a sweep if they're able to get it done. Hopefully they're able to hold on to a 5-run lead with, a half inning remaining. But
I have a feeling first-year head coach Michelle Garner is going to be pretty popular among a lot of BGSU.
I think she already is.
Yeah, BGSU president, a lot of higher-ups at the university and media in general. Maybe not as popular as newly hired Bowling Green football coach Eddie George, but maybe close.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's by nature of the hire it will, but I think it's unfortunately overshadowing how well Bowling Green baseball playing up into this point, and Halleck doing it in his second year. It's very strong things.
Chevalier skies one to Robeson on the 2-2. She'll field that one just outside of the dirt with left fielder Penner coming in right behind Robeson. So one out. In this frame again, your score 9-4. Falcons, same amount of hits as Kent State with 7 each, and then 5 errors for Bowling Green, 4 for Kent State. They've really kind of outplayed their own defense with their offense.
Yeah, they have almost every game this season as they've out-hit the pitching. To be completely honest, today they might have even out-pitched the hitting. It would be pretty tough. I know 9 runs is a very kind of odd thing to say, but just looking at the way Morgan Beckham has handled herself in the circle, Mackenzie Krafchick making her 3rd appearance of the weekend, and the 3rd time Kent State saw her, not doing very well, I'd say. It was a strong outing.
Delaney Davis takes strike one. Delaney Davis 5 for 5 on the weekend. She's had outstanding. That's really kind of solidified maybe her potential spot in the outfield for the future.
20-2 the score of the baseball game now. Just an update. Kent State leading, of course.
If BGSU baseball loses again on Sunday, Bowling Green softball would outpace their win total this week, which would be a big mark for the squad.
Could you imagine the look on Tyler Kavlitz's face?
Yeah, our BGSU baseball beat writer Tyler Kavlitz wouldn't be super happy about that one. But it would be awesome for this program. I mean, all the success that the baseball team has had, they get all the spotlight.
To replicate
in the
that
spring.
in Reserve and Stellar Field would be unbelievable in 2025.
Davis grounds that one to short. Robeson will send that one over. And that'll be an out as Savannah Wing fills that one cleanly. So Davis's hitting streak, 5 straight at-bats, is over.
Yeah, so 6 for her last 6, and now ground ball to shortstop. Still made it pretty close on the play, but not close enough. Can't do that forever, I suppose.
Yeah, made contact on it. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Kendall Matthews steps up with 2 outs in this inning. Ella Johnson kind of settled in here late after a rough couple innings where Bowling Green really put the pressure on. Kendall Matthews takes strike 1. These are the walk in her last at-bat. Here's the 0-1. It's inside. And no, it's going to be called a strike right on the inside corner for strike 2. So Matthews down 0-2 quickly.
Yeah, Ella Johnson a little bit late, but kind of settling in since that first inning she worked, giving up 3 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Has got 5 outs since, only 1 hit given up, only that base runner, and they didn't advance. So impressive stuff. Got strikeout as well.
Matthews takes pitch number 3 for a ball just off the outside corner. So here's the 1-2. That one skied way high up here in the infield. It's going to be Libler who will make the play. And Bowling Green will exit the frame scoreless as Ella Johnson gets out of that inning. But we're going to stay right here as we've reached the midway point between the top and the bottom half of the 7th inning. I mean, Ben, we talked about it. This is the first time Bowling Green will have achieved a max sweep since April of 2022. That's a long time.
Again, if they are able to hold them off at the top of the 7th inning, it's going to be Morgan Beckham that's going to get the circle. It's just a huge turnaround for this program to, I know we talked through non-conference schedule, looking at the outlook, didn't look too great. We were hoping for 3 or 4 wins through non-conference. We got 5, and one of the University of Illinois Chicago games got canceled, so could have very well have had 6 through non-conference and tied the win total from last season, but we're got 1 and 2 against Buffalo. Unfortunate that they weren't able to take another win and win that series as well, but they came back and took, hopefully are going to take 3 against Kent State, as they've got another 3 outs to work with. That'll be not only that for the program, for the team, for Gardner, big one for Morgan Beckham as well, who we can't say enough good about. 2 innings, 2/3 of work, 1 hit, no runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk on 11 batters faced for Beckham, who is probably going to surpass Mackenzie Kraftchick's total on innings pitched and work the most of any Falcon pitcher today.
Yeah, it's been Beckham, and it's been Kraftchick and Anderson. Just these past couple of weeks have just shown up when it matters. As good as this offense has been, you need the pitching to step up when it matters, and they've done just that. As Bowling Green will look to go 4-2 in MAC play with this victory, reach 3rd place as of now. Of course, other games going on around.
Yeah, just
right now.
Just don't tell Coach Gardner that. I mentioned that to her yesterday, and she almost bit my head off. Not worried about the MAC schedule yet, and trying to take it game by game, which I completely understand. Ball State next week, very tough opponent. Be a very telling series for Bowling Green as well.
Yeah, Saturday doubleheader. 1 game on Friday, and then 1 o'clock will be the first game on Saturday, and then likely 3:30-ish will be the start of game 2. That will be second edition of Saturday softball, WBGU. 2-0 is the count as Beckham delivers to
beautiful pitch on the 2-1 or the 2-0, I should say, to put a low and inside, throwing one of the best pitches you have on that count to try and keep it away from the bat of Katie Jo Murray, who's a power hitter, and that one's rifled into left field.
There's a leadoff hit for Kent State, and they have life. It's going to be a tough comeback for them. 5 runs is their deficit, 9-4 score, but that's how you want to start the inning, with a leadoff single.
It was a good swing. A very strong hit. Got Beckham on a fastball on the inside and turned on it, put it to Delaney Davis in left field. But you got the double play in order now with Nogue coming up. Pretty fast runner, too, so it'll be a tough one.
Nogue been relatively quiet in her return to the field, where she earned a spot on the All-MAC freshman team as well as the All-MAC second team in 2024.
She hit about 260 last season with Bowling Green. She's about at the 240 mark now, a little bit below her pace from last year. Maybe slight sophomore slump, not too many extra base hits.
That one's going to be just sneak past the glove of Addie Martins. That one's hit well right up the middle, and there's going to be an errant throw from Matthews on the pass to Parent there to Taylor Barron, and they're going to score a run on the errant throw. So it's going to be 9-5.
Just throwing the ball around a little bit. The defense really needs to be cleaned up, and we talked with Gardner yesterday about how clean it had been. But, it was clean yesterday. I mean, not too much to say about it. Hannah Hunt didn't have a great day at second base, but she's been good today. It's been Katie Hutter that's had a rough game, but even around the rest of the field, it's just been a tough defensive display. Something in the dirt here on a cold Saturday.
So Nogue will advance because of the ball that went out of play on the errant throw to Barron at third base. So runner on second, nobody out. Your score 9-5 Falcons, as that one's high and inside on Cam Utendorf.
I believe they are going to give an error to Addie Martin at shortstop.
Yeah, Nogue advances on the wild pitch. So now runner on third. I wouldn't assume Beckham too worried about that runner right now, assuming the padding that they have. Just need to focus on getting out.
The runner at third doesn't matter, and the batter at the plate really doesn't matter. She get a 2-run home run net right now. Really doesn't affect the game too much if you're able to get the next 3 outs. You are working through the bottom of the order, though, and you don't want to have to bring up the top.
Count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Utendorf.
So you have to. Don't know. I would assume on a ground ball you're gonna leave the runner, let him go, and just take the out, not worry too much. Massaro is not normally a first baseman, playing first base. Played infield in high school as well. Was an all-state shortstop.
That one's lined out into left field, right to Delaney Davis, and Nogue's going to tag up, and she's going to score as the throw not quite in time from Davis. So Kent State gets the run, but Beckham gets the much more valuable out. So one down with the bases empty.
Out for the run. You're a step closer to your goal than they are to theirs. It brings up Leilani Johnson at the bottom. So you are going to see the top of the order.
I think so.
Yeah, Carly Penner.
Oh, they're going to send her back.
Maybe.
Hold on. That's not the right thing. They shouldn't do that. Because even if she left early,
yeah, she would be
just
out.
Be ruled out.
She would be out if she left early. I'm not sure about
Unless
that.
they're going to take the out away as well and say no pitch, maybe?
There's a pinch hitter up right now at the plate for Kent State, regardless. That's Megan Claire Hout. Sophomore out of Canton, Michigan, attended Salem High School.
Don't necessarily.
Who was batting before? So that was
Cam Utendorf was batting before, I believe.
Yeah, this is rather.
Well, we are going to have one out and a runner at third. I don't know why she wasn't allowed to tag, and they sent her back. She clearly was safe.
It couldn't have been. The only thing I can think of is possibly maybe either interference on either Barron or Chevalier on her advancement. But I didn't see
then
any
she
on the
would
play.
just be granted home. She wouldn't be sent back to third.
Yeah.
Which is, and she's going to get the run anyway.
Yeah, they're going to score on a wild pitch from Beckham that just gets hit off the glove of Chevalier. So that run's going to make it 9-6, even though it kind of already was 9-6. So I guess
so.
No
Ball
harm
don't lie,
done.
I guess.
Ball don't lie.
We got back to probably what we should have had.
Claire Hout mentioned graduate of Salem High School, 306 on the year, hitting 639 OPS, 17th appearance on the year for her. That one skied high. It's going to stay in play, I believe, for Taylor Barrett, and she makes the play.
She did make the play.
Yeah, viewpoint blocked by the dugout, but based on the reaction of Beckham, it's 2 outs, and Falcons are 1 out away from a 4-2 MAC record.
Yeah, no runners on. It brings up Carly Penner. So unless she really Jimmy Jacks one, no way they can get a run on this batter, but still a 3-run bump for Morgan Beckham.
That one skied high, and it's going to be Addie Martin who's going to try to make the play, and there's a collision out there in the outfield as Davis came in on Martin, who was trying to make the play. Not enough communication. The Falcons, and another error on the day.
Probably going to be an error on Addie, I would assume. That's Delaney Davis's ball ranging in from the outfield.
Yeah.
It's always the outfielder calling off.
Yeah.
And she would have made the catch. So I think Gardner's just going to settle down Beckham here, considering that should have been the last out.
Considering Mill, the lineup is coming up for Kent State. Bryn Libler will stand up to bat with Savannah Wing on deck, and then Leitner and Robeson waiting in the wings. So that could potentially be a costly misstep, as that was the 8th error on the day for Bowling Green.
Possibly, yeah. And again, the run at the plate and the run at first base do not matter. The out matters. It's when you put another runner on that it becomes to be worrisome. But you're still in the driver's seat. You control your own destiny. It's not the easiest way to get it done, but.
Morgan Beckham, 3 1/3 innings, 2 runs allowed, but none of them have been earned for her. So looking to keep her scoreless in quotations outing alive.
They are going to give the error to the shortstop, which I think is the right call.
Yeah. Yeah, Davis's play, obviously, as you mentioned. So it's going to be Bryn Libler, 1 for 3 on the day, looking to keep Kent State's hopes alive of not entering 2 weeks of MAC play entering second week of MAC play winless.
Looks like both runs scored in this inning are going to go down as unearned for Beckham.
0-1 the count for Libler. Beckham just really trying to punch the zone right now, force Kent State to make the play using her velocity that she has on that fastball. That one's high and inside for ball 1.
Libler's 1 for today on her 2 other outs made, 1 on an error, actually, and 1 swinging strikeout. Also had a walk and a run scored.
That one's, great pitch from Beckham right on the outside corner.
Good frame as well by Chevalier.
You saw Beckham point to Chevalier after that one.
Might have been a little bit away, in my opinion, but very close. And Libler's down to her last strike, and so is Kent State.
1-2 count. Beckham only needs 1 more to give BG the victory. Here's the pitch. That one's high for ball 2. Chevalier liked it, though. Didn't get Libler to chase.
Surprised Penner hasn't moved off first base yet. I understand you don't want to get thrown out on the base pass, but I think the last thing on the mind of Beckham and Chevalier is the runner at first. Putting him in scoring position would be a key as well.
Yeah, fielder's choice is still in play. That one's high again. Libler, good job laying off those 2 high fastballs that have gone the Flashes a lot today.
Not only to remove the force, but also get the runner in scoring position. A single scores, and now you're a run closer.
Yes, but also they need 3 runs. They don't need that 1 run.
It's a free base, essentially. They're not going to try and throw you out on it.
Full count, 3-2 for Beckham. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be lifted right into right field. Steph's going to make the diving play, but didn't quite get there as Penner's going to round third, and she's going to score on the play. And so 9-7, Kent State narrows down the lead once again.
Yeah, Steffes was a step late at tracking that ball.
Yeah, a little bit late.
And it fell in. She still had to make a diving play for it. So I believe it's going to go down as a hit. But runner on second now. Still 2 outs and a run closer.
Good placement on the single that allows Libler to advance to second on that single, her second hit on the day. And Savannah Wing will step up. Doesn't get any easier for Morgan Beckham, the freshman.
Yeah, it is going to be a single. It's going to be a unearned run again on the error earlier in the inning.
High fastball to Wing. You imagine this has got to be a tough position for Beckham just in general. I mentioned 3 1/3 innings. She had through 5 innings yesterday, so fatigue could possibly be setting in for her as a freshman. And also just stress in general is a big beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good situation. I think Gardner would be the first person to tell you that, to put your pitcher, your young pitcher, in this situation and get her experience and in a tight game and a game that you should win and essentially need to win during a tough matchup next weekend as well.
Ball State 4-2 on the year as well. They got Michaela Timmons, best hitter in the MAC, so that's going to be a good matchup right here at Messer Field. Count is 2-1.
Not good that she's fallen down 2-0, but very good that she can return a 2-0 with that strike. Beautiful one up and away in that corner.
Well, just fouled down the right field baseline, so it'll be 2-2. Beckham again, 1 strike away from the victory. Maybe 3rd time's the charm here.
Don't think, unfortunately, that she's going to get the win. I believe Krafchick is still set up for that, which either way, very good.
That's 3 wins.
For Bowling Green. It could be 3 wins in a weekend for Mackenzie Krafchick. It could be
that?
the first win of the season for Morgan Beckham, if she gets out of it.
That one skied.
Yanked.
Good cut from Savannah and got really good contact as the fan takes a tumble on the potential receiving of the foul ball.
He blew a tire as well. The shoe got lost. That was hilarious.
Going after in the slippers, that's going to happen.
Oh, my gosh. He was booking after that ball, too, with no competition. He was just for the love of the game.
Those fans on the right field line have gotten a lot of souvenirs. That one's high for ball 3, so full count.
He's okay. He's jogging it off.
I'm not sure if his dignity is okay after that, though. Full count. Beckham trying to exit this game with a victory for the Falcons. Here's the pitch. Owen Scott in play. It's going to be Hannah Hunt who has the play, and she makes it. So Bowling Green, 9-7 final score, and it's a victory for the Falcons. Michelle Gardner makes this team 4-2 in MAC play and earns their first sweep in Mid-American Conference play since April of 2022. Huge victory for this team and just a huge week, 4-1 across 2 different series at Messer Field.
Yeah, it took the long way around to do it twice. Yesterday, down 6-3, had to come all the way back, and then today in the 7th inning gave up 3 runs. Made it a little bit tighter, but all 3 runs unearned for Morgan Beckham, who worked 3 2/3 innings on 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. A fantastic performance from her as a freshman. Mackenzie Krafchick as well, who I believe is going to get the win. 2 earned runs on 3 innings and a third on 6 hits. Errors for Bowling Green was probably the weakest part of the weekend, especially in this game. It was really telling for Bowling Green. Listed as 8 on the scoreboard here and 4 for Kent State. They really factored a huge portion into the game and how high scoring it was, 9-7.
Yeah, just as far as Kent State pitching goes, Kendall Leitner's ERA is at 63 right now after her 3 earned run performance in only a third of an inning. Delaney Nagy 2 2/3 on 1 earned run, and then Ella Johnson 3 earned runs on 3 innings pitched. So tough outing overall for Kent State. They've had struggles in the circle all year. That's something that they'll be looking to fix. As they're 0-6 now in MAC play, moving into this coming week.
Yeah, but in the benefit for Bowling Green, at least, they've been having pitching struggles all year. I know in the pregame that we talked about yesterday, we were talking how both teams, their struggle has been pitching and their strength has been hitting. Well, Bowling Green solved a little bit of their pitching struggles, at least somewhat. Scarlett Anderson didn't have a great weekend, but Mackenzie Krafchick had maybe the best of her career. Morgan Beckham has come into a little bit in MAC play as well, had a very good performance today. Very nice to see what Gardner's doing with this pitching staff. They're clearly accepting everything she's telling them, and they've had the production this weekend to show it.
Yeah, how about this game overall for the Falcon offense in this weekend? Overall for this team, only 7 hits on the day, but 3 for Delaney Davis, who stepped up in a big way playing that left field position in a gap that in the outfield that we mentioned hasn't really been a lot of the offensive production for this team. It's been mostly the infield. Addie Martin, 11 hits now on the week after going 1 for 4 today. Barrett, Hunt, and McKee also earn a hit on the day.
Seems like they always have a pretty good balance of the bottom of the order and the top. When the top of the order is struggling a little bit, as they did somewhat today, only 3 hits for the top 4 hitters. The bottom of the order picked it up, and less so anybody but Delaney Davis. But 3 out of the 7 hits were hers on her 4 at-bats. 3 RBIs for her as well. In the bottom of the order with Steffes and McKee, each had RBIs. Only 1 at the top for Katie Hutter on the hit by pitch to the head. The top of the order struggled. The bottom of the order picked them up. It's getting to the time of the season. You want to see that being put together. But the offense, very good. Addie Martin had a great weekend. Bid for our Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week, I think. Peyton Steffes had a very good one as well. Mackenzie Krafchick, tough to say that she's not one of the better players, one of the hotter pitchers in the MAC.
Yeah, that's going to about do it for us. But although the broadcast is about over, the content that we put out here at Falcon Media Sports Network for softball is not over. You can expect the recap of this game written by Kevin Hutchinson later, probably tomorrow morning, as well as a sidebar, and then the weekly windup written by yours truly here. But you can expect to see Bowling Green here. They're going to have another full week of games at Messer Field. Doubleheader on Wednesday at 2 p.m. against Youngstown State. That's a non-conference game against the Horizon League opponents before huge weekend series here at Messer Field.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
You're listening to Family know it's very hard to climb the rocks and the hills, the mountain and the valleys, but you do good in your neighborhood and everything will be alright. That's the Father's words. I like your country woman, country woman, country woman, country woman, I say.